Hello, my friends, and welcome to Truth Bomb, the quick-fire quiz show where I test the best the indie media has to offer on AI's official narrative with a truth bomb or two thrown in. I have convinced some of the best indie researchers, journalists, and hosts on the World Wide Web to compete against each other in a quiz show which will shake the very foundations of mankind. AI sets the official narrative, but there will be plenty of occasions for each contestant to throw in a truth bomb to set the record straight and for a chance to win extra points. Let's play Truth Bomb. First up today is Sam Chaney. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hello, Johnny. Thank you for having me on Truth Bomb.
I'm very happy. You come across as a serious man. Do you think I'll be able to pierce your cool persona by using poorly thought out comedy?
I think so, Johnny, because we have to laugh or we're going to start crying when we see all the tyranny out there in the world.
Indeed. And on that note, as a leading communist transgender OnlyFans model, do you practice permanent revolution often?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It is Pride Month, by the way.
It is Pride. It's Pride in permanent revolution? Yeah, no, I'm joking, of course. For the people at home, you're not a Marxist, you're not a Ziza or a professional twerker. Where would
a MAGA
you say,
communist? I've seen that. People claiming that's their ideology.
Isn't
MAGA
that
communists don't make no sense, but there's a bunch of them out there on the interwebs.
I think that's Jackson Hinkle. I've actually had a Jackson Hinkle round on here because he is so mad. Where would you say you position yourself on the political spectrum? Mads is obviously down a left-wing anarchist, probably roughly near where I am if you were to put it on the scale. Where do you think you are on the are you a bit of a libertarian?
No, I hate the government. Never trust the government ever. I'm an anarchist too, like you. I want no government, rules without rulers. We need to get rid of all these corrupt systems because none of them work how they're supposed to. How they tell the people that they're representing us in these democracies. That's simply not true.
Yeah, it sounds like leave me a fuck aloneism.
Yeah,
that's why it's a good. I would be the same if it wasn't for these damn counselors. These counselors near me. To be honest, I like making them annoyed and getting them angry. And anyway, right. You live out on the West Coast, yeah.
California, fourth largest economy in the world. They claim.
How is life over there? Are the tramps fornicating with Tesla sex bots already? Or are Elon Musk's social programs yet to kick in?
It's pretty... I live in a redneck part of the state here at Central Valley. So it's... I don't know. I got a lot of American flags and cowboys where I live.
Tough man. And you'll be pitted against another tough man. You're going to be pitted against a Scandinavian today. Have you got anything negative to say about Vikings just while we got it?
Well, just in general, we've been taught that all white people are inherently bad.
Oh, well, I mean, we get taught some true things, you're saying. Is that right? No, indeed. Okay, excellent. Let's go on to our next competitor. Maz, hello. How are you today?
Doing fine, as always.
Good. Will you let me give you a good Viking name? Is that possible?
Well, you can have your pick. I have Olaf, or you can have Rurik, or you can have your pick.
Well, I was going to go with Ivar Longhorn, or Dagmar Diggler, or maybe Frobfist, but they're all penis jokes. Whatever, they're all Viking horn jokes. I do apologize.
Yeah.
Now, you're not a communist either. So why have you styled your beard on that of a ginger Karl Marx?
This one.
Yeah,
it's
that
just
one.
It's pure laziness. It's too. I'm too lazy in the morning to do the shave. Yeah.
Karl Marx was a lazy one too. He never cleaned up his room. His mum was always annoyed with him. For the people at home, where would you put yourself on the political spectrum?
For the people at home, I would put myself. Well, if we go with if we avoid the pure left and right scale. And we also
would we then say classic Scandinavian fascist? No,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
joking. I'm joking.
If we go with the Galtan scale, I would be in the lower left quadrant, around the area of those early anarchists. I would be probably how would you put myself, a libertarian anarchist in some ways, with a streak of conservatism to run along the path. I don't really have that many politicians who support my views, so I'm quite alone down there with the early anarchists and Martin Luther King fellows. Which
join me. I'm already down here.
Yeah, it makes me at home basically nowhere, which I'm quite fine with.
Okay. So just answer me this, though, really. What tax rate would you impose on the general public if you were raiding the coastline on your longboat?
I would say I would go with 50-50. Keep 50, I take 50.
I see. Nice, good. I'm glad to hear that I get to keep 50% of my. That's very kind, to be perfectly honest. You let me keep 50% of me goods. What a nice Viking. Okay, enough of the racism.
But Johnny, I mean, there's a thought behind that, because if I take 50% from you, but I still leave 50, that means you will still have 50 to start reinvesting in your British homeland. So when I return in about 2 years' time, you will have had enough money to start again. And then I can once again come back and take 50. If I took 100% from you, you would probably be destitute and die in some form of a bubonic plague out of the poverty that I imposed on you. So if I only take 50, I'm keeping you alive, and you will be able to produce enough for me to take 50 once again.
I can't believe that you're threatening me with bubonic plague. That's a very strange thing to threaten people with. And anyway, everybody knows what happens is Scandinavians, if they want to actually take the British, what they've got to do is they've got to go and make babies with French people for 100 years. And boom, there you go. Then they got William the Conqueror, and it is all over. Excellent. Let's play Truth Bomb. The next round would be your run-of-the-mill true or false round if it wasn't for AI constantly spinning evil lies. Sometimes it tells you the truth, and sometimes it uses loads of different methods, including behavioral insights, to turn you against everybody you love. It'll be our contestants' job to set the record straight if they think it needs to be, but also to guess what AI wants you to believe on behalf of their establishment masters. First up is Mats. Please choose from the wall of dystopia. You can pick Olof Palme, the Swedish option, of course, modern witchcraft, Charles Manson, Jesus was a Jew. No one wants that, Matt. I'm just telling you. The fall of Bashar al-Assad and bricks. Which one would you like?
Well, in order for me to try and survive this with an ounce of dignity, I'll play it safe and go with the Swedish version of Jesus, or at least once perceived as such in some quarters, Olof Palme.
Okay, excellent. Right. So, Mats, your true and or false round is on the assassination of Olof Palme. Let's start off. Remember, give me AI's official narrative to the question. But then you can fill in by saying truth bomb, any extra information. Let's play. Palme was shot while in his office. True or false?
Definitely false.
False. Okay, excellent. You got any truth bombs
in his office?
Yeah,
I mean, he was in office.
It is false. It is false. Go on.
Yeah.
Give me any more. If you've got a truth bomb there, you're up against stiff competition.
That's nothing. There's no truth. That's just false.
Yeah, it's false, but you now can add a truth bomb. So you can add something to say against the AI narrative or against the question. If you've got any extra information, any bonus information or anything like that, then remember, say truth bomb and give it for the extra point. Right. Next one. Palm was accompanied by bodyguards at the time of his death.
False.
Oh, very well done. Yes, he did dismiss his security detail, preferring to live without constant protection. Have you got any truth bombs there as well? Anything there? Any extra information?
I believe one of the truth bombs is that the security service was alerted quite late surrounding the fact that he wanted to go alone to the movies. However, no one knew where he was going and when he was going. I mean, the man wasn't stupid. So basically, it was only a very secluded amount of people that knew that he was going. And actually, I think there were like only 2 or 3 people who knew which movie theater he was going to. But then at the last moment, he and his wife, Elizabeth, decided to change movies and go to, I think it was Amadeus, to go and see the Amadeus movie.
Tragic
together
movie.
with their son and the son's girlfriend at the time.
Wow.
So the theory is that someone was listening in to Olof Palme's telephone.
You might want to save this
with his friends.
You might want to save this for another truth bomb for another one of the questions. Yeah, you got the point.
Could be, but it's
good.
Yeah,
all right.
I just wanted to make this point now because it's not as if he was sloppy with his security and said, I don't want any security staff. He was very cautious about his security, but he said he took all the precautions necessary. So there are questions concerning this, definitely for some truths that are hidden still.
Okay, excellent. And right, okay. And Amadeus is one hell of a movie too. So it actually sounds, isn't that the actual scene from Batman in the comic books where the young boy leaves the cinema with his very influential mother and father and they're shot outside the cinema? Well, that's very interesting. Okay, next one. Lisbeth Palm, Olof's wife, was shot and killed alongside him.
False.
False, yes, correct. False, go on. Have you got any truth bombs about that? No. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. The murder weapon was a .357 Magnum revolver.
True.
It was. Is that what Dirty Harry uses? By any chance?
Yeah.
Are you feeling lucky, Punk? A very powerful gun.
Yeah, that's the one. It's a powerful gun, and it was highly uncommon in Sweden at the time.
Is that a truth bomb there or bonus point? Go on, you can add in.
I could go on forever concerning the question about what weapon was used, the ammunition.
Oh, well, be concise. Be as concise as possible. But we like truth bombs. That's what the program's for. So if you've got any extra, bring it on. Say truth bomb, and then give it to us.
The truth bomb concerning this weapon is that it was. The theory is that Olof Palme was killed basically by one of a conspiracy. But anyway, focusing on the weapons, there was a police officer who is called Ö, which is the Swedish letter. That's the O with 2 dots above themselves. And before the murder, he had gone to the hospital for an appendectomy. But against the advice of his doctor, he had gone home on the day of the murder. And after the murder, he never returned to work, but he quit the police force and instead devoted himself to building up a company within arms and the security industry.
Oh.
However, he was later caught in Denmark, and the Danish police found bullet casings connected to the .357, the Magnum revolver. And this was these bullets were never thoroughly investigated, so there was never any connection made between this hardcore right-wing police officer called Ö and the killing of, or the murder of, Olof Palme. But you have found bullets from time to time, but they have been very sloppily, or they haven't been treated as hard evidence the way they should have been treated in a case of this dignity. So there are questions surrounding the official narrative in relation to who had a weapon of this sort, who had ammunition of this sort, and who was capable of producing this kind of weapon at the time. That's
okay. That's a good.
That's the truth.
Yeah, that's a good truth bomb there. Okay, we'll give you a point for the truth bomb as well as a point for the answer correctly. Over 20 witnesses saw the assassination.
True.
True. Yes, correct. Multiple witnesses were present.
Wait. Sorry. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I already told you you're correct. So if you want to change it now, you can do. But
No.
It would be it wouldn't be very advisable. But multiple witnesses were present on the Via Vegan, but the accounts varied. Go on. You got a truth bomb?
No, I'm just going to say that the Swedish Prosecution Office, they cherry picked when they were trying to pin the assassination.
You want to say truth bomb at the beginning of this? You really want to say truth bomb? You want to start saying truth bomb at the beginning of every time you say something afterwards? Go on.
Truth bomb.
Definitely.
We've had two people put on trial for this, or one person put on trial, and his name was Christer Pettersson. And the evidence back then was very much cherry picked in what he looked like and what he did and where he was running. There was contradictory evidence that didn't really come forward, and he was later acquitted of the murder.
Well, wait. Let's not go too far. Let's not go too far.
I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to.
Well, the next question.
I'm going to circle back.
You might want to circle back quickly.
There were 22 witnesses, but there was only one of them who said the fellow who is now charged with the murder had one of these handbags, these male handbags, when he was running away. So a man bag. But only one witness said this, and the other 21 witnesses have been discarded. So there is a huge amount of cherry picking when it comes to the witnesses.
Yeah,
so
okay,
next question.
Excellent. That's a good one. Okay, the next question, the reason why I slow you down, Christer Pettersson was convicted and later acquitted of the murder.
True,
correct, yeah. So do you want to say something about that now? Any truth bomb?
There is really no truth bombs about that. It's a basic fact. He was the Swedish system, the judicial system actually worked. He was acquitted in a higher court because the evidence wasn't there. End of story.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Acquitted. Do you know what year he was acquitted?
Oh my! Could have been.
You know when he was convicted?
88.
And acquitted in. If you get both of them right, convicted. He was convicted in 88. If you get both of them right, I'll give you a point, a bonus point.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember. Maybe 80. If he was acquitted in 89, maybe.
Is that what you're going to guess?
I can't remember that year.
Is that what you're? Yeah. Okay. Guess. Yeah. Good guess. You get a bonus point there. You get a bonus point. Okay. The murder weapon was found in a lake in 2006.
False.
False. Yes. Correct. False. The revolver was found in Dalarna, but couldn't be confirmed as a weapon, of course. Okay, we'll go straight on to the next one. Stig Engstrom was named the prime suspect in 2020.
True.
True. Okay. Prosecutors identified him as the likely killer, closing the case. Have you got any truth bombs about that? About why that happened then, or anything?
It's not a truth bomb. It's a truth czar bomba. It's a huge explosion.
It's an atomic truth bomb.
It's an atomic truth bomb. I mean, the Swedish prosecution's office, they needed someone. Now, Stig, and they said, we're going to start turning all the stones over again. And when they started turning these stones over, they discovered some things that they weren't kosher for the official narrative, because they discovered that there had actually been different, what you could call kill teams out and about in Stockholm this evening of the murder. And they were associated with the Stay Behind movement in Sweden. Now, I think they discovered this, and they realized they couldn't commence or continue along this path of reasoning, because they would end up in places where it wouldn't be recommended that they go. However, they did find this Stig Engström fellow. Now, Stig Engström was a bit of a character. I mean, he liked to talk. He liked to be at the center of attention. But the thing is, you could loosely perhaps tie him to the Stay Behind movement simply because he worked in a building called the Skandia building, which was right beside where Olof Palme was murdered. And the Skandia building was an office building where the CEOs were deeply involved in the Stay Behind movement.
Oh, wow.
And below Skandia, you had tunnels and you had different areas. You could enter the Skandia building from multiple sides. So Stig Engström was provenly in the Skandia building that evening. And he also had a gun fetish. He was very interested in guns and weapons. The problem is, that's where the evidence ends. There is no coherent line of judicial reasoning that can in any way tie Stig Engström to pulling the trigger outside the Skandia building. Okay. Basically, Stig was there, and he saw Olof Palme, and he saw Lisbeth, and he saw the murder. But then he started talking because he felt the person, Stig Engström, wanted to make more of himself than he actually was.
Yep.
So he was a very convenient scapegoat.
That's a good truth bomb. But there'll be more about Stig Engström coming a bit later. So I would say save a little bit of that. Well done, you get a point anyway.
I still have a lot more saved, so no worries.
Yeah. Palm was a member of the Conservative Party.
False.
Correct. He was a social democrat. Indeed. It will go straight on to the next one. The statute of limitations on murder in Sweden was removed in 2010.
True.
Correct. You're getting very. You're very good at this part. Come on. Have you got any extras, bonus points, truth bombs, anything about the statute of limitations on murders being removed in 2010?
No, just the truth bomb was that one of the reasons was the Palme murder that was about to expire. But other than that, it was a political decision to conform to other countries within the European Union, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you the bonus point for that. I'll give you a bonus point for that. Okay. The crime scene was immediately secured by the police. Oh, this is hard.
False.
Correct. Yes. Poor response led to lost evidence. All the evidence. The investigation received over 130 false confessions.
True.
Yes. 134 people falsely confessed to the murder. Why is that? What's up with Sweden that everybody's like, it was me all of a sudden? What's going on there?
I think it's people with psychological problems, and then they or people wanting attention for one reason or another. You could speculate forever on why, but I know there have been a few, like you said, a few hundred or 134 people, apparently 32, who have said I did it, but they have all been discarded quite quickly, I believe.
Well, you'll get correct answer for the true there. Okay, Engström was part of a shooting club.
True.
He had firearm experience, supporting the 2020 theory. Okay, so have you got any more truth bombs about Engström there?
No, just that he was a very careful, structured individual at this point. His daughter, one of his daughters, have talked about this. He never, because it said that initially that he was sloppy and he had lent his gun to someone or he had taken it out, and he never did this. He was immaculate about security for the guns that he had collected. They were in a locked room at his suburban house. He had a very suburban, boring life. He wasn't one of those gun-toting maniacs who took his guns to town to show off. He was a very, strict Swedish lagom fellow.
I give you a bonus
the story
point.
It doesn't hold up really.
I'll give you a bonus point. The case was officially closed in 1989.
Officially closed. False.
False, yes. False. It was closed in 2020, as we've discussed, after they named Engström. Okay, there's 4 questions left. A movie about the assassination was released in 2021.
Yeah, true.
That was a weird time. Ooh, true. Yeah, it was. You know what it was called?
No, I can't remember. That's why I was insecure about the answer. I can't remember the name.
It was called The Unlikely Murderer. Sorry, The Unlikely Murderer dramatized the case, focusing on Engström. Okay, next one then. Palm supported the African National Congress, the ANC.
True.
Yeah, true. His support fueled South African conspiracy theories. Was there anything else you want to add about the South African conspiracy theories that surrounded it?
It's not. I can't say truth bomb, but there has been discussions that South African hired guns. I think 2 of them were involved and were sighted outside the movie theater. But this has never been confirmed. It's just been whispers and rumors amongst the cloak and dagger people, because the South Africans, the white South Africans at the time, were highly skilled and trained assassins.
Of course, and Palm was anti-apartheid.
Anti-apartheid. He was a thorn in the side to the South Africans, but on whose authority they perhaps did or didn't do it, we don't know. I don't hold too much truth to the South African trail.
I don't think anybody does.
But it's been discussed.
Okay, correct. It is true. I'll give you that. And we'll go on to the next one. 2 left. Palm's assassination was the first murder of a Swedish prime minister.
True.
At least as far as we know, it was unprecedented in Swedish history, or you could say unprecedented. Anyway, okay, and last one here. A 2020 poll showed most Swedes believed Engström was guilty.
False.
That was
False.
the sound. Yes, false. Do you know how many people believed he was the killer?
How many idiots am I surrounded by in Sweden?
If you pull a number out of your bum and it turns out to be right, then I'll give you a truth bomb point.
My guess would be 22% of the Swedes thought he was guilty.
Why you added the 2 there, I don't know. Only 20% believed he was a killer. But I'm going to be super strict and say you said 22. I mean, that was just random to add the extra 2 on there. I don't know. So do you have any truth bombs on the murder of Olof Palme to finish off the round? Something just to tell us about the whole sort of thing and how it, it's something that will make us understand the case better.
A thing to understand the case better is that it was sloppily handled from the second the trigger was pulled. I'll just give a truth bomb to kind of summarize the initial problems, and they have continued. But if a prime minister is murdered, the first thing you would think the police would do would be to close down the entire Stockholm metropolitan area. Just shut it. No trains, no subways, no buses, no airplanes. Everything stops. No. The official national alarm wasn't raised until I think 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, he was assassinated right before midnight, but the alarm wasn't raised until I think 4 or maybe 5 hours later. So there were actually policemen learning that Olof Palme had been shot from taxi drivers. Taxi drivers going off their shift in night and saying, "Oh my God, are you chasing the killer of Olof Palme?" And the police would go, "What? Palme? No. What is he? Is he shot? He's shot. Oh, he's killed." So it took a huge amount of time before the calls or the police central command gave this order, and from there it's just been sloppily handled. There was no one taking notes on who was at the scene. The people who were at the scene, I mean, being Swedish, and we Swedes, we have a reputation for doing the right thing.
They dancing on tables naked.
Yeah, they had exactly. They had to call the police, 2 or 3 days later and say, "Hi, I was there when Palme was shot, but you didn't take my name or number, but I'm calling now because perhaps we should talk."
Yeah.
And the police were, yeah, that's a good idea. Come down to the station. We'll have a chat. So it's the whole, from day one till today, the difficult questions have been avoided.
That was just big. Was that simply because it was unprecedented in Swedish history, or simply because no one wanted to take responsibility for the investigation?
Different parts. It was that no one really wanted to take responsibility because this was a hot potato. Secondly, there were questions concerning the night, like I said, where there had been observed different teams moving about. So there could have been an interest in trying to postpone the launch of the manhunt and the investigation in order for these teams to quietly disperse. Yep. We don't know.
Excellent. Well, that's an excellent truth bomb to finish up. Get a good point there. And in general, that was a fairly good round for you. From sitting through a lot of true and false, I think you scored well. Well done. So, Sam, you're left with Olof Palme, Charles Manson, the fall of Bashar al-Assad. No, Olof Palme's already been taken. Modern witchcraft, Jesus was a Jew, or bricks. What are you taking?
Let's go with bricks, Johnny.
It's almost like I forced it upon you. Here we go. Sam Chaney, I can't believe we're going to have fun with this one. You got 18 true or false questions on bricks. Remember, if you want to add in a truth bomb afterwards, any type of information, or you think you've got enough information to score a point, say truth bomb, tell me it, and we'll decide. So let's go. The first one. BRICS originally stood for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. True or false?
True.
Yeah, an easy one. Have you got, because that's quite a broad one, so have you got anything to say truth bomb wise about BRICS, about how it was originally created or anything?
I believe it's all part of a bigger conspiracy to shift power from the west to the east, and it's taking a while to develop here. But they can, if you look at what they are telling us, they, as in all of these different leaders, policy papers, and whatnot, they say, China specifically says that we're in a new era, multipolar era. And even recently, little Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State here, and Vice President Vance have both said that the United States is going to pull back on the hegemonic power that we are. And so I believe it's a soft power transfer as part of the Great Reset, away from the Western banking system into this new Eastern banking system, because I believe the globalists, whatever you want to call them, international bank cartel, feels like it's going to be a lot less challenging to bring 85% of the world who's already suppressed and underneath tyranny, a lot easier to bring them in to this full, all-seeing eye system than it will be the West. And so they're like, well, you guys may put up too much of a fight, too much work. We're just going to cut you out, West, and we don't even want to hear from you. Either get on board with the rest of the 85% of the world or starve to death.
Yeah,
and they're
100%.
all working together, at the Bank of International Settlements.
Oh, hold off. Don't use all truth bombs at once. Not on the first answer. You've already got a truth bomb point. Yeah, savor it, and consider how your knowledge can gain you more. So you get 1 point for the correct answer and 1 point for the truth bomb as well. Next one, BRICS was founded in 2001.
Was it founded in 2001? I'll say
true or false.
No, I'll say false.
Yeah, correct. It's not founded. You can add in a little bit more. I mean, you've obviously got a lot of information if you want to talk about. I mean, we're still talking about the founding to that extent. Have you got a truth bomb? You could say truth bomb and then anything, and then you get a point if it's good enough.
Truth bomb. I'm gonna have to add my own AI here.
You're not allowed to cheat. You're not allowed to look.
I'm not allowed to look.
No. That's a sneaky. You'll get in trouble. People will come around your house with torches, pitchforks, and all sorts. Be careful.
No rigging game shows, man.
No.
Weren't they giving? Didn't CNN give Hillary Clinton the questions before the debate? Remember that?
Yeah, maybe. But that's that. Yeah, there you go. There's a difference between the independent media and the mainstream media. But probably not, actually. Anyway.
Well, we're trying at least to. I am trying at least to be honest and forthcoming.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to give you a truth bomb point, especially that you tried to cheat, but I am going to give you a laughter point. There's laughter and corruption points in this as well, so I did like that. Okay. The first BRICS summit was held in Russia.
No. False.
Oh, it's true.
True.
It was held in 2009 in Yekaterinburg in Russia. Yes, it was. You can give a little bit of something if you got anything about any of that.
No, I'm good.
Okay. On to the next one. South Africa joined BRICS in 2011.
False.
Oh, it's true. It was. They've been cheeky. They say South Africa was invited in 2010 and joined in 2011. Do you want to say anything about South Africa joining the BRICS nations?
Nah, That's a weird one because they're kind of still. I still think of them as West under UK. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As far as their establishment, but
I mean, Cecil Rhodes himself was
mm-hmm.
based out there. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Like they're all tied up still in all their East India Company, whatever new name they call it, the empire. They're basically part of the empire, the Commonwealth.
I see. I think if you add the word truth bomb in there, you'll get a point.
Okay, truth bomb.
There you go. I see.
I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, that's good because indeed, Cecil Rhodes and the like were
the round table. That's where a big part of the globalist conspiracy comes from.
And not only that, I do think that the I think that
Truth Bomb, and Carol Quigley's book, The Anglo-American Establishment, lays it all out there. Everybody should get that book, and you can get real historical knowledge of the conspiracy.
Okay. Yes, indeed. It is true enough. I will give you one bonus point as well on top there. So you get a truth bomb and a bonus point. So you get 2 points anyway. So I just to say as well about South Africa, I do think that it's central to fifth generation warfare and has been historically. I think that's what even Cecil Rhodes himself was partly involved in. And if you look at how Musk's mother and father, how they acted within South Africa, they seem to be taking the opposing force, the antithesis. There's a lot of things in South Africa that seem to be in operation or seem to be branches of other intelligence agencies doing operations. It's a very interesting country. Okay, next one. Let's go on. BRICS represents over 50% of the world's population.
True.
Oh, it says false. It says BRICS countries account for about 40 to 45% of the global population.
It represents 85% of the world's population, according to China. Truth bomb.
Oh, there you go. You go on. You're saying that you think it that BRICS represents 85% to China, but the Western AI will tell us 40 to 45%.
Yep, truth bomb. That's what China says. Is it represents 85% of the world.
Do you think the truth is probably something in between? Probably more like 60%.
I don't know, man. The way you start adding up the billions in China and India, and it's like they got a lot of population right there in just China and India as compared to the West, where our demographics are falling off a cliff because, as we know, they're following eugenics depopulation program.
Yeah, indeed. It's all Malthusian nowadays. It's like we're obsessed with our own demise. I think that's what empires that fall become obsessed with their own fall, that they gaze at it as it happens, as they go over the cliff. It's just, you can't stop yourself. Okay, good truth bomb point there. I like a bit of that, at least for questioning that account by AI, because I think that's wrong. So I think you're right on that. I could give you another example where I've discovered two different AIs will give you a similar sort of distortion. Wales, where I come from, we're known as sheep shaggers because there's so many sheep in Wales. And Grok says for every human, there's 2.8 sheep in Wales, where Gemini AI says for every human, there's 4 sheep in Wales. So who's telling the truth? I don't think it's the AI, either of them. Probably much more like.
Have they counted sheep to go to sleep? That's what the AI needs to do.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of sleeping in Wales too. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Okay, next one. Iran became a full BRICS member in 2024.
False.
Oh, it's true.
True.
Iran joined as a full member in 2024. But I'm willing to give you a truth bomb point, of course, if you have any information about Iran joining BRICS, why you think it's happening, or anything about the geopolitical state of Iran at the moment.
I want to know why they can't stop the. I was looking at the shipping routes. You can see them in live time the other day, and I was like, why don't they stop shipping from Iran to Yemen, if allegedly that's a big threat over there, and the ships just go and come like normal, and so that makes me. I want to believe Yemen is legitimate opposition to the Zionist entity, but then I see that they're just letting them go about their business with no problems, and I'm like, what? If there's really this big fight between the Zionist entity and the Muslims, why don't they stop their ships? Because they sure have the capability to ship from Iran to Yemen, and they're not doing that. And so again, it looks like it's all fake. And I'm like, can something be real in this world for me to believe in? And it's like, well, I got questions, put it that way.
Yeah, at the beginning of, I'll give you a truth bomb point for that, but at the beginning of the most recent Gaza conflict, there was a point where there were missiles being fired at ships, and the British and Americans were and the Israelis, of course, were all very worried and all making a big stink of it all over the news agencies. And if you looked at,
we got to clear the black teeth panel there, right, for their shipping to the ports.
What they were suggesting, though, was bizarre. The British media and the American media was seriously suggesting that Saudi Arabia should be an interlocutor to stop this the missile attacks with Yemen. Saudi Arabia, who had just been bombing them continuously over and over again. And I think it seems to be like they're constantly playing like, oh, now we're the bad guys and this is a good guy, and now we're the bad guy and this is a good guy, and looking for a way to get Yemen to work with them. But Yemen know they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're going to be, you know, Western intelligence and Mossad and the like don't play around. They don't mess around. So even though
they're shooting hypersonic missiles at Aardvark land every day. Last week,
and it works for what you call Aardvark land. everybody I think knows what I'm saying. You've got to be careful now. They're taking people to the gulags for talking about it. You know,
the FBI yesterday, the FBI and who else? Department of Homeland Security here in America put out a public service announcement 2 days ago warning against anti-Semitism. So I'm like, be nice to Aardvarks, man.
Yeah. We want you to know that there is a declaration for anybody who is an anti-Semite. We know where this goes. We know where this goes. Okay, next one. Okay. And think very carefully. I mean, I think you're maybe overthinking them. You've not got a couple of these, which I think you should have probably got, because you might be overthinking them a little bit. The United States is an observer state in BRICS.
False.
Yeah, false, of course. The United States is not involved in BRICS. How do you think the United States feels about BRICS?
I think they love BRICS, actually.
What's the reason?
Like I said at the beginning, I believe at the top levels of international banking, this is all part of the plan to shift power away from the West to the East.
Yeah.
And so at one level, we're going to act like, oh, they're competition. Well, actually, we act like they're nothing right now. But I think once they develop the systems to do trading and interact with one currency, once it's fully developed their economic system in BRICS, then we'll act like, oh, they're competition, and probably use it to go to war. Who knows? But at the very, very top levels, they're all in it together, I believe, of the international bank cartel. And again, they're going to use it as a tool to shift power from the West to the East. Yeah.
And so the plan that is happening, you think the same as me. I suppose you realize that Kissinger and Nixon, when they looked towards China, they basically developed an agreement with the up and coming Chinese regime that if they act as a test bed for technocracy, then they can both be heading towards the same type of globalism at the end of it. Do you think that's kind of what happened in basic terms?
That's what it feels like. They're like, we know you're tyrants and love to kill your own people, and we'll give you some high technology to help pull you out of the dirt. as long as you play ball with us, you act like the opposition, and then but behind the scenes, we're all in these secret societies laughing about and drinking baby's blood.
Yeah. I can believe. I definitely can believe that they like something that they're not allowed to have. Rich people like to have the thing they're not allowed to have. Actually, probably most people. So okay, Russia was suspended from BRICS after 2022.
False.
Yeah, false. Of course, Russia remains active BRICS. Do you notice how AI has put forward that question as though it's from a Western perspective, you know, as it's, oh, well, of course, people would be tricked into believing.
Everybody's pissed off at Russia because Putin's the most evil man in the world. YouTube, if you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
You have to, Johnny, listen to this crazy thing real quick. There's this guy, another independent guy. What's his name? John Bronson is the guy's name. And his shows, We've Read the Documents. Anyway, he, same as all of us, went through getting his YouTube channel suspended, right? Or fighting with him back and forth about the stupid strikes. And so he appealed one of his videos that he did to YouTube directly. He wrote something like, I'm going to fight my entire life to expose Donald Trump, right? And YouTube restored his channel for that. Yeah, and I was like, well, then screw you, Donald Trump, and Putin's the most evil man in the world, because that's what YouTube wants to hear. And yeah, so
wow, that is
crazy,
so YouTube. Yeah. Okay, let me just have it. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're through 8 questions, so this is halfway through. This is a 9th here on this round. Okay, the BRICS New Development Bank, NDB, is headquartered in Shanghai.
True.
The NDB is based in Shanghai, China. Any truth bombs at all on the NDB?
Not really. The people of the world are never going to have any economic freedom as long as we're underneath these fiat systems, debt-based fiat systems. Okay.
Well, okay. I don't
know if that's a truth bomb, but that is economic fact.
Yeah, it's not a truth bomb. I won't give you a point for that, but we'll go on to the next one and think about what you just said when you're answering this. The NDB was established to replace the World Bank.
No, false.
False, yeah. This is what it's saying. It's quite right. It aims to complement, not replace, institutions like the World Bank, which is what BRICS is kind of, in a sense, intended to do, isn't it?
China, truth bomb. China says they're fully on board with UN Agenda 2030 goals for sustainable development. I just read a policy paper like last week from them. That and they say this was some meeting, I forget the name, with the Pacific Island countries, and they say us and our friends, Pacific Island countries, there as they're fighting over Taiwan, they say we're going to what did they say? The exact language was accelerate. We're going to accelerate. China and friends in the Pacific Islands are going to accelerate UN Agenda 2030 goals for sustainable development.
Yeah, I'm not.
So that's why I say the power is shifting from the west to the east, and we're going to act like now over here in America, oh, we hate the UN, we're against all that. When in reality, we're helping them in the back rooms shift the power there, and now they can openly say, hey, we're 100% for UN Agenda 2030, 2050, and so on, as we know that the global plans are right there for everybody to see at the UN.
Excellent truth bomb, man. Excellent truth bomb. And again, I'd reiterate that if you look at Kissinger and Nixon moving towards looking at China, well, the same thing is that Kissinger was also involved in creating these organizations such as the World Economic Forum via leaders that he recruited through the Harvard International Symposium. So this was set up by the same people to go in the same direction. They know which way they're going. Anyway, okay, right, next one. The NDB has a capital base of $100 billion. I've got me a Dr. Evil finger up.
I'm gonna say true.
Yeah, true, indeed. It's gotta be because it's a Dr. Evil figure, isn't it? It's quite true. Yeah, the NDB's initial subscribed capital is 100 billion. I don't. Is that 100 billion actually that much anymore? I don't think it is. Is it?
I think it is. I don't know. Like the zeros are getting all lost, but I think it still is a lot. 100 billion is a lot of freaking money.
Well, okay, you give me just $1 billion then, and I'll be happy. Just give me a little bit. Okay.
Allegedly, Musk, with his fallout with Trump, lost $34 billion of net wealth over the last 48 hours or whatever since they've had.
But how is that like? Is that the equivalent of him losing pocket change?
Apparently, well, it's all based on the stock value of his company, so it's literally not liquid. So yeah, it's pocket change for him.
Yeah, at that point, who really cares?
Because all they got to do is run another propaganda campaign and fool a bunch of people, and he'll have it all back in 24 hours. So.
They love it. They love it. They love it. Okay, right. Next one. I will give you a bonus point, actually. I'll add a bonus point onto that one just because a little bit of extra information there and a good thing to think of. And I always like to think of any type of misery that Elon Musk might feel. Argentina is a BRICS member.
And that's where we got the difference between member and eating around the edges. I'm going to say, no, they're not. They're out. We got Milei with his little hat now, and the
Hi, I'm Javier Milei. I got all of the answers under my little hat.
With his chainsaw and his little hat, and now he's the great, libertarian anarcho-capitalist hero.
Greatest man in the world ever with that hat.
But
without it, he's nothing.
But turns out he's converting to aardvarkism. And,
who would have thought that could possibly happen? That he would turn to the dark
side. It's this coincidence that we see. Well, so he's joined up with the West, and so I would not say he's in with BRICS in the East there for that power block here now.
You're right, and I'm not going to say you get a bonus point or a truth bomb point. You do get a laughter point, though, for making me laugh about his little tiny little hat where he keeps all of his anarcho-capitalist secrets under. Okay, right. Okay, so that's 1 point and 1 laughter point. Next one. The BRICS group was initially proposed by Goldman Sachs.
No, false.
True. Would you believe it true? The term BRIC was coined by Jim O'Neill, apparently. I find that very interesting, especially that it's Goldman Sachs.
That speaks to the Western banking cartel. It's all part of the same conspiracy, right?
Yeah, completely. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left. Yeah. Okay, the next one. So you get a 0 for that one, I'm afraid. You have to, yeah. You get I do. I'm gonna have to. I'm sure. I got one of those sounds. Wait a minute. Let me just see if I can pull out a wah sound.
That's on my voice. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, close. No, I think I'm out of sounds, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Anyway, let's not get distracted. The BRICS Youth Summit is an official event.
I'm going to say true.
It is. It's true indeed. Engages young leaders for members' countries, like so many other types, like, well, the Young Global Leader Program or the Marshall Memorial Fund or the many other organizations that are run out of the German Marshall Fund as well.
China's constantly talking about how they're integrating culture with all these different countries that they're reaching out to with a soft hand of power and saying, we're going to help you development because the West over here, you've already been through that, the debt, from the IMF, from the World Bank. And obviously it's not working out for you guys because you're still living in the dirt and not developed. And so we're going to share in our culture and teach you how to be honest. There is what China says.
Yeah, teach you how to be. Well, the Chinese know how to do it. They know how to do it. They know how to cook some food as well. Mean food. I might just accept a dictator if they cook me mean food. As long as they're not torturing me or throwing me out of helicopters, I'll accept nice food in return for services. Okay, next one. Saudi Arabia is a full BRICS member.
No, false.
Yeah, false. Correct. Do you have any thing to say about Saudi Arabia's relationship with BRICS?
They're like top petrodollar guys. I don't see them. Honestly, I don't see them breaking away from the West anytime soon, as long as they still have the cozy petrodollar relationship and security relationship with the United States.
Did that not end at some point recently? Did that not?
I saw reports, people saying that it did. It didn't end.
Yeah.
It didn't. It did not end. There was reports that I remember that, and then I was like, nah, it didn't end. No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a truth bomb point for that word. It didn't end. Tyranny didn't end. They told us it ended, but it turned out it was still going on. Right. BRICS supports renewable energy projects.
Yes, true.
Yeah, they love their sustainable development goals.
They do, indeed.
Yes, they do. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The BRICS group has a formal constitution.
True.
I would have thought I would have answered true, but apparently it is false. Apparently, no, it is not true. Right, okay. Next one. We got one left, and then it's a final truth bomb. Ethiopia joined BRICS in 2024.
Yeah, let's say true.
Yeah, it's true. Indeed. Ethiopia became. Is this going to be something that we see a lot more now? Is that these smaller countries being picked up by the BRICS nations?
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, they're trying to pick up. China says 85% of the world's population, so they're trying to pick up. And again, I don't blame these countries. We sanction them. America, not the Western banking system, sanctions them, and so we literally leave them no choice but to build your own system or starve to death. And so that we're forcing their hand, and we know that the Western banking system knows that, and so that's why I say it speaks to the conspiracy. They're all working together as this poor people suffer and try to get a piece of bread.
Yeah. Okay. Now, at the end of these rounds, the specialist subjects round, I offer a final point for any truth bomb about BRICS. Anything that you think will give a good idea of what it is and where it's going in the future. You've said a lot, but if you can find something else that is new out of it to describe to what this is to people and what their agenda is, then you'll get an extra point.
Well, it's just been
truth bomb.
India just assumed chairmanship of the 12th BRICS Parliamentary Forum, like yesterday. But to summarize BRICS, it's competition for the Western banking international system. And like I said, the Western banking international system uses economics as a weapon, sanctioning countries that don't get on board with the Western hegemony of America and the rest, the Anglo-American establishment. And so it's competition. But like I said at the beginning, I feel like they're all working behind the scenes together because they feel like the West is going to put up we're just too much trouble for them over here. And so it's easier to go to the East, where they have had limited, if none, freedom. And so those people are already under tyranny in whatever form. And so it's easier to go ahead and shift power there for the kill, Great Reset, technocracy, social credit score system. And so they're going to flip the table and leave us with no choice but to get on board with their system or starve to death at some point in the future. And all of these systems take a very long time to develop, and it may never even develop, because if you're going to bring in all these different countries, all these different players, all these different interests, it's a big freaking lift to do, right? To get everybody on board. So it may never even happen, but they are working due diligently to develop it.
Yeah, that's a good one to close off on. Excellent round. I think you got an excellent round. Now that Schwab has stood down, Klaus Schwab has stood down as the head manipulator of the CIA-created World Economic Forum, are you ready to start owning things again and being happy, or being unhappy, sorry?
Yeah, I'm starting to grow my own food, and starting to have the bugs and the worms ready.
Yeah. Oh no! You have to own things and be unhappy. That's the opposite. So, Sam, what about you? Would you welcome Elon Musk into your home, or do you have a strict rule on inviting in vampires?
Well, no, I wouldn't invite him in. I don't like transhumanists.
Yes. Well, that's what really a vampire is, isn't it?
A hard prejudicial stand against transhumanists.
Yeah. If we've just been talking about BRICS, if the G7 are akin to Inspector Clouseau, would BRICS be akin to Cato?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can look at it that way. If it turned out that Elon Musk was a self-flating wankbot with a love of stealing tiny frilly socks, would you be surprised, or would you request he returned your socks? Now we're entering a round called Wankety Wank. Honest and Truthful AI has come up with 8 quotes. However, I have sneakily swapped one of the words with the famous phrase with the word wank. It'll be our contestants' job to guess the original word. If they get the quote wrong, then the opportunity will be handed over to their opponent, a sleight of hand. Alongside the quote, our contestants will see a picture of the person behind the famous phrase. You can gain an extra point for identifying the author of the quote. Only if you correctly guess the missing word. You can only score a truth bomb point if you've answered correctly. Mats, you will be first to guess in this round, and then we'll alternate. If you get it wrong, of course, it gets handed over. So here we go. Wankety wank. First one. Let's get it down. The first one. Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful, and she's covered in marshmallows. Don't look at her. Your heart will melt. And there we can see, as you see on the screen, Mats, we cannot retreat from the world. We must wank it.
Yes.
So, yes. Yes. That is definitely what we must do.
Conquer it.
Oh, you think conquer? No. I'm going to hand it across. Sam?
Yeah, no. I'll have... Yeah.
We cannot retreat from the world. We must embrace it.
Oh, I would love to say yes to either of you, but neither of you get a chance to guess who's the marshmallow lady. It's we cannot retreat from the world. We must lead it. Yes, of course. Like Hillary Clinton wants to lead. Okay, this goes across to Sam then. Here we go. This is another one. Globalization can be a force for good, but only if we ensure it wanks everyone. Be careful. It might not be what you think at first.
Only if we ensure it includes everyone.
Ooh. No, even though that's good advice. Globalization, not globalization. These are all globalists, of course. A lot of these are globalist marshmallow lovers. Matt, it's not includes. Can you guess what it might be?
Embraces everyone.
Oh, the first two are nothing. You've got nothing. Neither of you for the first two. Globalization can be a force for good, but only if we ensure it benefits everyone. which that is quite hard. Benefits a hard one. Okay, the next one, back over to Matt's then. Here we go. You were going to have to guess who that is, so I would think about it strategically. We must wank together as a global community to protect our planet. Matt?
We must work together as a global community.
No. This is a hard one today. This is a hard one. Normally wankety wank. By this time, most of them have been got. Go on, Sam. You're gonna have a guess.
That's King Charles, and we must act together.
There you go. There you go. Indeed, it is. It's King Charles there, and we must act. So you get 2 points there. That's 2 points for Sam. Okay, that's good. That's good. Sam, this will be you guessing first this time. Here we go. Here's our guy. No one minds a bit of marshmallow gore. The climate crisis is the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced, but also our greatest opportunity to wank. This is a difficult one.
The climate crisis is the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced, but also our greatest opportunity to unite.
Well, you actually might have it for a second, but no. Matt, this is a hard one. What would a globalist say? This is a very globalist word.
Opportunity to.
Schwab would use this. Schwab uses this word 1,000 times a day for sure.
Might also be our greatest opportunity to. Change.
Not up. No. Innovate.
No.
That's a globalist word. Okay, Matt, you first this time. This has been a hard one.
Yeah.
This has been a hard one so far. This is a really difficult one. It doesn't take a military genius to see we'll all be crispy wankers after World War III.
Crispy fries?
No, it's a very, I think it's a very American phrase. Sam, over to you.
Okay.
Well, you've already gone with crispy fries, I'm afraid.
We'll all be crispy marshmallows.
Oh, I'd like... You're going to get a point for making me laugh. Yes, yeah, I'm going to give you a point, but it's actually... It doesn't make a military genius to see we'll all be crispy critters after World War III. Sorry, that was a Weird Al Yankovic phrase for sure. Okay, this one will be easier. Sam, you up first. This one will be easier, I promise. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's wank.
Let's go.
No, I promised you it'd be easier, and it turns out it isn't. No, go on. Matt.
Spring is nature's way of saying, let's fuck.
Oh, you get a point for making me laugh, but no one's got it. It's let's party. Spring is nature's way of saying let's party, and of course, it's the man Robin Williams. Don't mention how he popped it, or this video will be already almost more banned. Matt's, here you go. These are easier ones, surely. Surely someone's going to get this one. If you want creative workers, give them enough time to wank. It's true. It's true. A lot of these sentences are true.
Give them enough time to... think.
No, I'm afraid not. Damn. This has been an ultimately hard round, I have to say.
If you want creative workers, give them enough time to create.
Oh, I'd like that. No, play. Play is the answer. So, okay, one more. Sam, it's only been 2 laughter points given in this round so far. No one's actually got any. This is the first time we got through wankety wank and no one's got the answers. Okay, so Sam, there's one more left here. Listen, I don't think you're gonna get this either. Women need a reason to have sex. Men just need a wank. Again, this is true. Go on, Sam.
Women need a reason to have sex. Men just need a reason.
No, Matt. Can you guess?
Women need a reason to have sex. Men just need a woman.
Ah, that's quite good. That's quite good. I'd like it. But unfortunately, you have both failed miserably. Wankety wank. This has been the worst round of wankety wank. No, the right answer is women. It's quite funny, actually. Women need a reason to have sex. Men just need a place. Which, very clever, very brilliant, Crystal. Indeed. At the end of that round, I can tell you Sam scored 1 point and Matt scored 1 point, both laughter points, but I liked it anyway. How did you enjoy Wankety Wank round, Sam? Do you like it?
It was good, yeah.
Good. So what do you think it will be the lasting memory of the technocratic dictatorship to come? Being chased by killer cyborg dogs or being humped to death by robo-sex dogs? Which one would it be?
Sex robots, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not, it's not the end of the world. Life comes and goes. There's a lot of coming in that. Anyway, Matt, you live in a country which is embracing the technocracy wholeheartedly most of the time. Do you have a QR code tattooed to your bum yet? Or is that just the way you walk?
No, that's basically just the way I walk. I hobble along, so I'm easily to recognize.
Just hobble along. That's me, just hobbling along. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the heart of it right here. Silicon Valley is like I'm about 3 hours away from Silicon Valley here where I live. So I'm right in the heart of the in California, where they run many tests for the one world government technocracy scientific dictatorship system. We are the first test market, as they say, for all of their crazy experiments to hit.
I bet you the closer you get to the center of the technocracy, the more it looks like Sim City or the Sims, where they're just walking around and they're each dressing.
Did you see Amazon? Amazon said they're building a humanoid robot city to train up their humanoid robots for Amazon package delivery. So soon, there may be a robot delivering your package, and it may just have orders to terminate you in the very, very near future here.
Or wank you. Probably wank.
Whatever you order, or whatever the orders came down from.
Well, if you're ordering that and you choose to have yourself killed, you've done it to yourself. Sam Chaney, thank you for being on Truth Bomb. It's obviously a blast to have you on. I want to introduce everybody who watches this, of course, to your platform. So can you tell people about what you do in Weaponized News and where it started and where it's going?
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, my name's Sam Chaney. I'm the host of Weaponized News. You can go to weaponizednews.com and see our work there. We stream Monday through Friday, live, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern District Time. And we go through the news every day, try to bring you as much informative, relative information that I can, and also try to interview important and informative guests along the way here. And the narrative that I'm building is never trust the government, and we all need to stand up against the one world government agenda, and everybody needs to take personal responsibility and not be dependent on the government. And those are big solutions that everybody can take in their private life, and don't look to some savior figure out there, whether it's in the church, in politics, in celebrity culture, whatever. Don't look for a savior. You be your own savior, and you do what little bit you can. Our biggest power, I believe, still is our purchasing power. You see all these multinational companies that are doing all this wrongdoing. Do everything you can to not give them your money. Shop local. Do as much local business as you can. Support small businesses that are not part of this multinational conglomerate, Fortune 500. And those are easy solutions. And particularly here for me in California, I've been telling people, which I've done, I practice what I preach, opt out of the smart meter. Okay, they went around like 15 years ago or something like this and just put smart meters on everybody's analog electric meter at their home. And you, as a customer of the power company, me specifically here in my region of California, I'm PG&E. I have no other choice. There's no other option. They have a monopoly on power. And so, but I don't want the smart meter, right? So you can opt out. You can do it peacefully, lawfully, everything like this. I'm not saying go out and with a crowbar and pry it off the side of your house. Fill out the paperwork with the power provider if it's available, and they will remove it. You have to pay. I want to say in the beginning, I want to say I had to pay like $15 extra for like 3 years, because they say you have to fund the man, which is actually helping provide jobs, but you have to fund the meter reader, a real person that's to actually come and read your meter reader. So I did that whole program, paid it off, and now I'm 15 years later, and still on my analog meter. So I'm doing my little part, whatever it may be. And then everyone also in your circle of influence, in your friends, family, neighbors, and acquaintances, you can plant seeds in their mind like, hey, maybe you should remove that smart meter. Maybe you should not shop with this. Maybe you should get out of, you should move your bank account from one of these big multinational banks to a local credit union, for example. And so there's all these little things that we can do in our personal life, and it takes away some convenience maybe, but it's all the little things. If everybody did their own part doing little things, it would have a big effect.
Yeah, massive effect. I agree with that. I'm amazing that they automatically fit smart meters on. In this country, of course, they've got to get you to agree to it. They basically they go to when you want a meter reading, they say, oh well, okay, can we fit a smart meter automatically? And usually people say yes over and over again, but they haven't got to that point where you have to pay. That's really sneaky. That is very, very sneaky.
No, they didn't give us a choice here in California. They just did it, right? And then in the small print it said, oh, you can opt out, but they don't tell anybody. You have to literally do your own research and go figure this stuff out yourself.
Ain't it so? There's nothing for getting up off your ass and doing it yourself when it comes down to these things. That's for sure. So you talked earlier. We talked within the show about how you got into. You ended up getting triggered. You went into. When I say triggered, you fundamentally got woken up, and you went and got onto public access TV to explain your points. Where did it develop to where you are now?
Just doing a bunch of shows over there when it first started. I had a bunch of support. And crazy story, side note, that one of my first producer ever that was running the switch, because it's like $1 million studio at the Access TV studio. You know what I mean? Like fancy $100,000 cameras, lighting, like the whole deal. $1 million studio, literally, probably even more than that. Anyway, when the whole thing first started, all kind of people were fired up about it, and we went down there and started forming up teams and stuff. And I had this guy that was my producer. His name was Eric Catlap, and we did this show, I want to say, I don't know, a couple months, maybe 6 months into the whole operation. And a very sad, tragic story. He set up the interview with this foreman. It was a foreman of a packing house, a food packing house, like for agriculture, fruits and vegetables. It was way out in the country over here where I live, in this small, on the outskirts of the small town called Fireball. And this foreman said that they are murdering illegal alien workers, and just after the season's over, they wouldn't pay them, and they would just kill them and throw them in a ditch.
Hell.
Yeah, and this guy said, I'm like, why are you coming to me on Access TV? Nobody even watches the show. It's just like, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? For us to rant and rave about. And he's like, I went to the local mainstream media. I went to the police, because that was my next thing. I was like, go to the police. You're talking about they're murdering people. He's like, I went to the police, and they basically ignored me. Said, we don't care. And anyway, I did this big show with this guy, like an hour-long show. He had all these documents, all this evidence, his firsthand testimony about this is what's going on there. And I thought, oh, yeah, nothing of it. Nobody cares, right? Nobody's even watching this show. And the police and media already told dude that they don't care. So anyway, we did this show. And after the show, my producer, Eric Catlap, went to all-night internet cafe in a place called the Tower District in Fresno, which is like downtown, like kind of a seedy area after dark, let's just say. And that night he got stabbed to death.
Holy hell.
He went out to his car.
Turn.
Yeah, he was in there in the internet cafe working on his computer, went out to his car and got stabbed, and then went back in there. There's people in there. This is like 10, 11 at night. And he went back in there and said, hey, I've been stabbed. And the guy was like a joker, always messing around like this. And nobody even took him serious. And they laughed, right? And then like 5 minutes later, he's like slouched over in his chair like this, like dead. And there's a pool of blood underneath him. And he literally got stabbed and bled out. And I thought that maybe it was connected to this interview with this whistleblower foreman from the packing house that was blowing the whistle on these illegal alien murders. I thought for about a month, I was very paranoid, thinking they're going to get me next. And they never did find the murderer. And conveniently enough, no security footage, no nothing. And they never did find the murderer. I did my own investigation because I didn't trust the police. And all I could get was there's no security cameras to catch right there where he had gotten stabbed. And the only other business that was open at that time in that area was a couple businesses down, was a bar. And so I went in that bar and asked them a bunch of questions. What happened this night that Eric got stabbed to death? And they said, well, all I could get out of them was there was a shady guy, homeless looking guy, like dirty and whatnot, like, and nobody knew him really. He wasn't like a regular at the bar or something like this. And there was reports that he had gone in that bar that night acting suspicious. And that's literally all I could get. And I could never figure out who the guy was. Nobody knew his name. Vague descriptions, just like a vagrant looking guy with a scruffy beard and dirty clothes. And that's about all I could get. And I looked in that area for that guy for a few weeks, and I could never find the individual that was an alleged suspect. I don't even know if this guy did anything, right? But it was the only lead I had at the time, and I could never even find the alleged suspect at that time. And like I said, the police never found the murderer. And so there's still a murderer of my producer running around on the loose somewhere here in Fresno.
Do you have any information about the actual? Because you say that this is like could be related to that story.
It just made me think. I have no evidence that it was related to that story, but I was like, it's a kind of a strange coincidence that we're doing this. And he was talking. See, my producer's the one that set up the whole show. I was just the, talking head interview guy. I didn't even know anything about it until I met him that night to do the interview.
Did he mention anywhere? I mean, I'm fishing for lucky here, but as an investigative journalist, that's what I tend to. Did the guy actually like put a location to where people are being killed? Did he like name names?
Yeah.
Man, that is
he
wild.
named names, he named locations, he told the police, and he said they ignored them basically. Yeah. Usually they ignore them because they're probably getting. And they've been in on it. Who knows? Who knows what all? But he had all kinds of paperwork, all kinds of documentation, big old story, very believable. I think the guy was telling the truth, honestly. And I never heard from him again after that because, like I said, my producer was the contact with him, and who knew he was going to be stabbed to death that night.
That is astounding. So that's
really what got me into it. And then there's another story. I wouldn't report on it because there's a guy named Jerry Dyer here, right? And he's now the mayor of Fresno, but at the time he was chief of police. And before that he was he rose his way up. He's been working for the police his entire career. Anyway, I had a woman come to me and say, "Hey, I want you to do a story exposing how the chief of police murdered another police officer." Because the story goes that this was before he was chief of police, he was like sergeant, and he was having an affair with another cop's daughter who was like 16 or 17 years old. And this other cop was going to expose the whole thing and was like very pissed off that, "Hey, why are you messing around with my underage daughter here?" You know what I mean? And anyway, that cop winds up dead at his house, right? And I'm like, and the woman that came to me was the woman's the cop's daughter, and the woman that he was having an affair with, or young girl, her sister. Anyway, she tells me all this, and I'm like, I'm not doing this story, man. This guy's killing cops. And I was like, this is too close to home for me. I was like, I think I'm not going to do this story. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you, but this guy's a hardcore gangster killing cops, dude. I was like, you think that he's going to really care about, killing me or whatever, threatening me? I was like, I just don't want to even mess with this guy. Anyway, since then, the guy's risen through the at that time, I think he was, I want to say chief of police, but now he's mayor of Fresno. And I was just like, no, this is too close for home. This guy is too crazy. I don't want to mess with him. So
yeah, I've had that sort of like same. I mean, it's an experience, isn't it? You're a journalist, whether you're.
I wanted to do the story, but I had to think double, triple think, and be like, wait a minute, this guy's killing cops and getting away with it, and now he's the chief of police, and you think that he wouldn't do something bad to me and to keep the cover up of his killing of this cop under wraps? You know what I mean?
Yeah. When
it was the same thing. She said, "Oh, I went to all the media, told them all this big scandal, all this stuff, and they didn't want anything to do with it." And I was like, they're pretty damn smart in that regard, because I don't want anything to do with it either.
That's the part. I mean, a lot of journalism has to be done at a distance for safety, just quite simply, because if I know that I
want me to go on TV locally and call out the chief of police at that time as a murderer of other police,
as a corrupt murderer.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, if I believe your whole story and all this is true, that's suicide for me to go do that.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what they want you to do. Sometimes they want you to jump into the abyss. I've been there in many different times as well, where there's someone who's kind of like beckoning you into either becoming corrupt or jumping into the abyss, not knowing what's next, following something that looks good, but is just a double-edged sword. There's no bright side. Bad people do bad things, And you have
they're dirty, corrupt, badly. They also what happened. I want to say this was after, but it just gave me confirmation. Literally, the second in charge underneath this guy, Jerry Dieter, when he was chief of police of Fresno, his second in command, I forget his exact title, but literally second guy, right, got investigated by the feds. He ran a giant heroin trafficking network, and he went to prison for it, actually. And I was like, these guys are so freaking dirty, man. I don't want anything to do with these dirty cops. They're freaking, they're bad freaking news, man.
Yeah, dirty cops are the worst as well because they have no boundaries and no borders for sure.
They got a gun and a badge and authority that says I'll do anything I want. You know what I mean?
And you can kind of understand it because a lot of the guys who are in that situation, they've usually, they've had it hard. They've wanted more and they've never got it. And then as soon as they got the power, and it's amazing. As soon as you
stupid though. This guy, the second in command, he's a black guy, right? Not that really has any. It may have something to do with it because of the whole gangster rap culture thing. But he was. It was stupid because he was living way beyond his means, right? And that's what caused a lot of red flags because he had like $2 or $3 million houses, all these sports cars, and it's like, dude, you're freaking like second highest at the police department, but you ain't no millionaire high roller dude like this, like the lifestyle that you're publicly living, like no big deal. It's like, come on, dude, this is ridiculous.
I wonder if people want to be caught sometimes. I wonder if it's just like just a crisis. There's people in crisis, maybe. And they're desperate. The showing off is to just please bring me down, take me down a peg, mummy. Stop me kicking this dog, daddy.
It was bad. It was really bad, man. Like his whole family was in it. He had wife, sons, daughters, cousins, uncles, all these people in this network that were a big drug dealing network. It was crazy, man.
Yeah. Maz, it's your round now, and I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by an honest and truthful AI bot on Swedish neutrality during Cold War. Of course, you may sense the outrageous BS, and you can earn extra points by setting the story straight, adding a truth bomb or two along the way, and I'll be the judge, if anything, what your truth bomb is worth. Are you ready?
Of course.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Maz, your specialist subject round, 18 questions on Swedish neutrality during Cold War. What policy shaped Sweden's stance during the Cold War?
Policy of neutrality in peace, focusing.
Yes, you only remember they're very short
in war.
Yeah, they're very short response. So we're looking for really wonderful. Neutrality was all you needed there. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about that? Any truth bombs about Swedish neutrality?
It's just a quick truth bomb. Yeah, a very simple truth bomb. It was pig swill, hogwash, lies, and just. It wasn't there. There was no neutrality. The Swedish military cooperated unofficially, officially with the NATO forces, and especially with the American military. It was quickly, for example, as soon as a hot war would have started, American planes would have used Swedish airfields to refuel and rearm, which of course wasn't. It was, and Olof Palme knew about this.
We'll get onto that. That's I'll accept your truth.
So the truth bomb is there was no neutrality.
Okay, excellent. What was Sweden's primary military strategy?
Primary military strategy. It was deterrence.
There's a term that was used. Again, with AI, you've got to sometimes think outside the box a little bit from what they're gonna
Yeah, exactly. Totalförsvar, total defense strategy.
Excellent.
The
Total
whole
defense.
society was supposed to have a part of the defense.
Yes, total defense
Total
system
defense, yeah.
was Sweden's primary military strategy. Okay, excellent. We'll go on to the next one. Which military alliance did Sweden avoid joining?
Sweden avoided joining NATO until
Yes.
just recently.
Yeah. Have you got any truth bombs about NATO? I'm sure you could find one or two.
Well, one of the truth bombs was that Sweden was NATO's most loyal non-member from around 1954 all the way up until we officially joined in 2024.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
That's
correct. That's a good one. That's a truth bomb to add on top. It is true enough. What ambition did Sweden have regarding nuclear arms?
The ambition concerning these arms were, we first discussed going nuclear ourselves. This idea was later dropped officially in the 1960s.
Well, I'll give you a yes for develop nuclear weapons. Okay. Do you want to add in truth bombs about the nuclear strategy Sweden had?
No, the truth bomb is that Sweden were fully capable of developing their own nuclear weapons in the 1950s and 1960s. But then later they received promises that we would have protection from the Western allied nations in case of a war. So therefore we ceased developing our own weapons for political reasons and trusted the unofficial promises from the Western allies that they would come to our protection in a case of war, even though the official line was neutrality.
Nice. Okay, good truth bomb. Who was Sweden's prime minister in the early Cold War?
I think that would be Tage Erlander.
Yeah, correct. It was Tage Erlander. What was the core goal of Sweden's foreign policy?
The core goal of Sweden's foreign policy,
Again,
I would say non-alignment.
Yes, good. Non-alignment in peacetime,
yes.
Even though peacetime is a loose term for these things. Any truth bombs about non-alignment?
I think the only truth bomb is that the non-alignment was for political show only, and the leaders, even the Social Democrats and Olof Palme as well, was one who was in very close contact with the Western governments. And even though we talked a lot about non-alignment, we were in full alignment with the Western governments.
Yeah, most definitely. Excellent. That's a good truth bomb there. What was the name of Sweden's iconic jet fighter?
Back then, iconic. This could start
one
wars
answer
in Sweden. Viggen, I'm going to say.
So, has it got a full name?
Viggen.
The creator of it, the maker.
The creator of Viggen.
The maker's got. Okay.
Saab.
There you go. Okay, correct. Yeah, Saab Viggen. Viggen.
Yeah.
Spelled
Viggen,
Viggen. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Okay, next one. Who led Sweden's foreign policy in the 1950s?
Sweden's foreign policy. Sten Andersson?
No, Östen Undén.
Östen Undén. Yeah, sorry, got that one right.
Do you know anything about that? I think that was your first. That's your first question. You've actually got wrong so far. So I mean, Östen Undén. Do you know much about Östen Undén?
He was a very a very adaptable fellow. I think he was basically active kind of before the Cold War started. I think one truth bomb about Östen that I remember now is he decided not to pursue the case of Raoul Wallenberg because he did not want to antagonize the Soviet Union, which leaves a very tainted legacy on Östen, because there was a window of opportunity when he could have put some force behind the words and said, we want Mr. Wallenberg back to Sweden, but he declined to do this and was very subservient towards the Soviet Union. 1948, 49 somewhere, which is a truth bomb about Östen.
Okay, I'll give you a bonus point rather than a truth bomb, but yeah, that's a good bit of information. What notable incident involved a Soviet submarine?
Oh, that would be Whiskey on the Rocks. U-137.
Whiskey on the Rocks, a whiskey incident.
Yeah.
Do you know what year it was as well?
83.
No, it was 81.
81.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You've got your whiskey. It is true. Is the whiskey incident? But I'll go on to the next one. So you get a point. For that.
Sorry, I have to truth bomb that one.
Okay, go on then.
A quick one. The official story is that it was. You have a discussion if it was intentional or if it was a navigational error.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the latest theory is that one of the officers on the ship had actually been compromised by the Western powers, because you can't by mistake navigate, because the place where the submarine ran aground is right next to the place where I am now. Actually, it's a part of my heritage area. And you can't go into that archipelago by mistake. So the theory now is that this political or this Russian Soviet Navy officer, who for some odd reason was on board this U-boat, he wasn't supposed to be, but he still was, had actually been paid off to steer the submarine into this very narrow archipelago area and run the U-boat aground. You can make this case, and it's quite a convincing case. So there is actually now a new discussion about what was the reason for this. And the reason for this was, of course, back in 1980, Sweden was going more and more neutral. And by that I mean Sweden and the Swedish military industrial companies needed to see the Soviet Union as a threat once again. And what better threat than running in a submarine straight towards the main military naval base in the south of Sweden, Karlskrona.
Well,
so that's a new truth bomb. Yeah,
that's a good truth bomb. But you kind of answered the next question, because where did the Soviet submarine run aground in 1981?
Just south of Karlskrona here.
Yeah, so you get a point for that as well. We'll go on to the next one. Giving you that's a good truth bomb, though. That's a really interesting. Lots of things were happening like that during the 80s when they were trying to find where the borders or the boundaries of the Cold War now were many years after it had begun. What was the name of Sweden's security agency?
The civilian or military, it's either SÄPO or MUST.
What are you going to go with? You can only go with one. Can't go with both.
Well, how was the question formulated again?
Okay. What was the name of Sweden's security agency? That's all they said.
Well, it is SÄPO. I'll go with that answer. It is
okay.
SÄPO.
SÄPO is correct. Correct. Any truth bombs about SÄPO?
No, they're just the same as all the rest of them. You know, they're
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
There's no need to truth bomb them. I mean, they basically muck themselves up every single day. So we'll just leave them. The less said, the better.
Okay. I don't know if that's how quiz shows work, but let's do it. What significant conference did Sweden host in 1975? He rubs his Marxist beard.
Yeah.
You're not Marxist, I'm so sorry. But that's such a brilliant beard. Go on.
Yeah, there was a conference, I think, on the war crimes of the United States in Vietnam that was hosted in Sweden. But other than that, I can't think of one in 75 particularly that I have etched into my memory. So you'll have to educate me on that one.
No, it was just the Helsinki conference. That's it. That's what AI has said. What significant conference? Apparently, the Helsinki conference. What was?
Okay.
Yep, that's it. That's all I got. What was the Bofors company known for producing?
Everything that goes boom, but I think they're looking for the Bofors cannon.
Let's say two types. What would you say? Two words.
Cannons, artillery.
Yes,
artillery.
good. Artillery and weapons. So I will give you a point for that. That's completely acceptable. Yeah, anything that goes boom. Those Swedish like to go boom boom. What was a notable Swedish espionage scandal? That's poorly worded, isn't it? There was a notable Swedish espionage scandal. What was it called?
Was this the Wennerström? Stig Wennerström, I think.
Yeah. Be careful typing during your people at home will be like, he's typing. You know, he's not allowed to type. He's not allowed. Put your hand away. Put your hand down. What are you doing? Yeah.
Stig. I already said Stig Wennerström. Before I reached for the keyboard.
I know. The Wennerström spy case, of course. Go on. Do you have anything to say about it?
No, I think that was just a normal spy story. He had his allegiance elsewhere, and he wanted money. I think the primary mover and shaker in Stig Wennerström's mind was money. So no truth bomb, just an ordinary spy story.
Okay. We're going to the next one. Who succeeded Erlander as Prime Minister in 1969?
Olof Palme.
Yeah, man, we've talked about already. Correct, indeed. Who was Sweden's defense minister in the 1960s?
Was that Andersson?
Yes, Sven Andersson, indeed. Yeah. Any truth bombs about Sven Andersson?
Well, the truth bomb is that he was Washington's man in Stockholm. He was the one who coordinated a lot of these stay behind shenanigans, and he had a noticeable admiration for the Western military.
Henry Kissinger.
Exactly. Kissing up to Kissinger. And
he wasn't a Harvard boy at all, or an international seminar guy, was he?
No. He was a very Swedish. Olof Palme was a Harvard boy, but Andersson was a very down-to-earth Swedish social democrat who had a lot of just basic knowledge of things.
Scandinavians, Germans, Lowlanders went through Kissinger's international seminar at Harvard during the 1960s as the way to prep and prime them for being aligned with the Western globalist view. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sven had put his foot in the pie at some point. I might look into that myself.
Well, of course he had some, but he was the one who coordinated a lot of these shenanigans, and he was the one who said yes or no to things that were not supposed to reach the public or political sphere. So basically, you had a government where Andersson was running Swedish foreign and security policy, and the others were discussing it, but they were in no sense of way running it or adapting it or making any marks of it. So Andersson was a central player for many, many years, decades in the Swedish Cold War security construct.
Yep, excellent. It's a good truth bomb, really good truth bomb. You get a point for getting it correct and a point for the truth bomb, so that's very good. Two left. What party opposed strict neutrality occasionally?
Högerpartiet and later the Conservative Party.
Oh, right. Okay. Is there any name for them that maybe they got?
Moderaterna.
Do you say Moderata?
Moderata Samlingspartiet.
Okay. Moderate party.
Yeah, the moderate party.
It.
Yeah,
I'll accept it because you're saying it in your own language there. Correct. Who led Sweden's neutrality in the 1980s? This is the last one.
Who led Swedish neutrality in the 1980s? Well, the Prime Minister was Ingvar Carlsson, so I guess he was the one finishing off this. Ingvar Carlsson, I'll go with that.
Yeah, correct. Have you got any truth bombs about Ingvar Carlsson or neutrality, Sweden's neutrality in the 1980s? Either one?
No, I just that the quick truth bomb about Swedish neutrality in the 1980s was to quickly adapt itself to the disintegrating Soviet Union, and starting to Sweden ended as a buffer zone, and we started officially leaving the neutrality era, and we started in the late 1980s. We started talking about what games we had played politically during the Cold War. So it was a time of truths coming out in the late 80s, and then in the 90s, of course, it exploded.
The same, of course. I think that was all of a kind of a carry-on from the exposures during the late 1960s about all of the different intelligence operations that were being run all the way around the world in the CIA, and that kind of reverberated through as they created this new neo-libertarian sort of establishment. Excellent. Brilliant. That's a good round in general. Have you got a truth bomb, one final truth bomb to finish the round about Swedish neutrality during Cold War in general? Anything you want to say?
There's really quite a lot to say, but I think the main truth bomb is within this is that Sweden was all geared up to quickly become a cog within the NATO military alliance, even during the Cold War. We even designed our military airfields and our ammunition storage and so on Western NATO standards in order to quickly be able to fit into the NATO war machine, so to speak, or the defense pact. Unlike Finland was very strictly neutral, which also was acknowledged by Moscow. In the 1990s, when you talked to the leaders, old Soviet leaders, they said, we always treated Sweden as a NATO member. Not Finland, but Sweden was treated as a NATO member. If it's a truth bomb or if everyone already knows it, I don't know. But the Soviet Union, for all intents and purposes, saw Sweden as a NATO member. But as long as we kept up appearances, it was fine.
Excellent. That's a good truth bomb to close out that round on. You did well. Well done, Matt. Right. Mads, my friend, are there any famous serial killers in Swedish histories? Swedish history?
Åhusmörderskan, I would say.
Oh, really? Okay, how many did he kill?
No, it was a she, I think.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
no, wait, sorry. No, she wasn't a serial killer. Damn it. My mistake. I can't. Sorry, she was the last. She was the last woman executed for murder. I forgot.
This sounds like
can't-
you have. This sounds like you have bodies buried out the back. Is that true?
I can't think of any serial killers right now.
Is that because you yourself just happen to have bodies buried out the back, or is that just the smell of the roll mops?
I don't bury them in the garden. I have some forest areas where I take them, so it's it's more difficult.
The Swedish, they're a fishy bunch to be sure. Sam, what about you? Have West Coast fish got Fukushima glow to them, or is that just the famous Hollywood lens flare being overused again?
Yeah, the fish are fine.
The fish are fine. They're okay.
Fish are fine. It's always
they
been
just speak to me every now and
polluted.
again, and some of them have 5 eyes, but I don't mind.
It's all polluted. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, it tastes nice. So, if I asked you if there were any famous serial killers in Californian history, would we both be dead before you got to the end of the list?
Probably.
And would our deaths then become part of their overall body count?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, California. We enter the quick fire picture round, and this is going to be harder because I think Maz has got a bit of delay. So you might just want to say truth bomb straight away, Maz, as soon as you see pictures, whether you know who they are or not. So let that be a warning to you, Sam. This is a quick fire picture round. You have to say truth bomb when you recognize the person. That's all you've got to do. I asked AI to make some of the most famous globalists into real-life Dr. Evils, ready to take over the world. It's up to our contestants to buzz in first when they recognize the famous face. So here we go. Let's get ready to play Dr. Globalism. Gentlemen, the first picture is up now.
Truth bomb.
Go on,
Soros.
Sam.
Soros.
Yes, George Soros and the cat. Like I say, Matt, you might even want to say truth bomb before you see the picture come up. Okay. Right, one point there for you. You can add, if anybody does have, it is a quick fire picture round, but if anybody has a truth bomb, a quick one, you can add it. So Sam, you got that one. Do you want to add a truth bomb?
Yeah, truth bomb. His son, Alex Soros, strangely enough, married Huma Abedin, former aide to Hillary Clinton. And it was rumored that they were in a lesbian relationship, but now his son is married her, and she was formerly married to Anthony Weiner, who had all this weird sex scandal stuff going on there in New York City as a politician, where he's a convicted pedophile for sexting underage girls. And so
I do miss him, though. I do miss him. He was a gift that kept on giving.
It's just a sordid tale of debauchery that, but thankfully the Open Society and other NGOs funded by George Soros are helping the less privileged around the world. So we do have that.
Good. Okay, that's 1 point for guessing George Soros and 1 point for the truth bomb. Okay, get ready. You might just, Maz, remember, you might just want to shout truth bomb. Here's the next one.
Truth bomb.
There you go. Go on then.
Winston Churchill.
Yes, correct. It's Winston Churchill. Have you got any truth bombs about Winston Churchill?
Yes, I do have a truth bomb, and it relates to my my interest in history and the fact that he ordered the Gallipoli debacle for not the reason that was given, but the reason he ordered Gallipoli to go through with Gallipoli was that he had to make concessions towards Russia, because the UK had promised Russia that Russia would gain Constantinople during World War I. However, the United Kingdom had no interest whatsoever in giving Constantinople to Russia. So basically what Churchill did was order the Gallipoli attack, but not wanting it to succeed. So it was a horrid affair, especially for the Anzac forces. Pure evil.
Definitely pure evil. The Pogues, Waltzing Matilda, is about a man getting back after having his legs blown off in Gallipoli. A fantastic song, so it didn't do all bad. I'm joking, it was terrible. Okay, right, next one. Get ready. You get a truth bomb point there and a point for getting it right. Get ready, gentlemen. The next one, next globalist.
Truth bomb. DiCaprio.
Yes,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio himself. He does actually look like Hairless Cat. He really does. Very similar to a hairless cat. You got any truth bombs about Leonardo DiCaprio there, Sam?
Just the fact that he's a big climate change promoter guy, carbon tax promoter, and goes around to all these international conferences promoting climate change and carbon tax, and his travels emit way more CO2 than any of the lobbying efforts that he's making to decrease it. So you could call him a king of hypocrisy in that way.
What? Leonardo DiCaprio, a hypocrite and a liar. I will not believe it. Excellent.
He's an actor, right? He's an actor, so that, and it also speaks to the fact that it's all just theater.
Well, yeah, when he gets eaten by that bear in that movie and almost killed, I touched my nipples at that point. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. You get a point in the truth bomb there. Okay, next one. Here we go. This is a difficult one.
Truth bomb.
Oh, I thought a Scandinavian might get this one. Go on.
Yeah, it's Kaja Kallas.
Yes, it is Kaja Kallas. Where's she from?
Yeah. She's from Estonia. She's one of the three Chihuahuas of the Estonian Chihuahuas wanting to go at the Russian bear.
There's nothing wrong with a Chihuahua. I don't mind a Chihuahua.
I know you love them, Johnny. There's so many truth bombs about her, but I believe one truth bomb is that actually she's made a name for herself in Estonia, saying how oppressed she was during the Soviet occupation and equating the Soviet occupation with Russia, of course. However, which not everyone may know, her father was a high-ranking member of the communist government in Estonia, and they did quite well during the Soviet occupation. The family was in no way oppressed or held back. They flourished under the communist occupation. Yeah. And then, of course, if you're a globalist, you adapt. So Kaja has adapted and is now a staunch supporter of everything that might lead to the fall of Russia. So that's one of the truth bombs about her, Mrs. Kallas.
Good. That's enough. That's okay. That's one for Kaja Kallas and one for the truth bomb. You're doing much better in this round than you did in Wankety Wank. That's for sure. Okay. Next one. Get ready to say truth bomb. This one may be easier.
Truth bomb.
It's bound to be. Go on, Sam.
That's of course Bill Clinton.
Big Willie Clinton. Oh my God. Of course, is his middle name Jefferson, is it?
Yes, William Jefferson Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any truth bombs about Clinton? He's never done anything wrong, has he?
A truth bomb about Clinton, there's so much. There's the Clinton body count.
Oh, yeah.
There's rumors that he's actually illegitimate Rockefeller child.
Really? I didn't know that one.
You ever heard that one?
Oh no, give me that one.
Just that he's
I would love to know.
Just that he's an illegitimate Rockefeller child. He's a Rhodes Scholar. So he's been trained and bred his whole career. Actually, here in America. A funny side story. I went to a very small high school in rural California over here, a town at the time of like 4,000 people. I think my graduating class was like 250 people, something like this. And during the campaign in 1993, I want to say, he actually came to my small high school and campaigned for president. Yeah.
That's 1992. That was
92. 92. I want to say somewhere. Yeah, 92. It would have to be
when he was running as openly as the first third way leader of America and saying, "I'm no longer a left-wing politician. I'm a centrist."
He's a centrist, and well, he redefined the definition of "is," which I thought was very substantial for the English language. He famously said, well, when asked about having the affair with Monica Lewinsky, if they had sex in the Oval Office, he said, well, it all depends on what your definition of is.
I have to respect a man who has a little bit of comedy, who knows how, because I had to say Bill Clinton has made me laugh on a few occasions out loud, and he still does. I would think we all agree that he is very much a cheeky boy. So I'll give you a point there, Sam, for getting it, and a point. That's an excellent truth bomb, a little bit of extra information. Okay, get fingers on triggers, gentlemen. Fingers on triggers. Here we go.
Oh, Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg.
Truth bomb.
Yeah. Oh, you miss out because it did Matt just say truth bomb.
Damn it.
Well, I said truth bomb, but I think Sam said the name before me. So
yeah, you gotta say truth bomb before you can say the name. I'm so sorry. So go on.
Maz, you said truth bomb.
Yeah, you said truth.
Okay. So those were the rules. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Zuckerberg. But
yeah, you have got it. You have got to say it.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'll just pass on the truth bombs on Zuckerberg.
He's giving you a chance. He's taking it easy on you, Sam. He feels guilty. Okay. I give you a point.
No, but you know why? Because I myself would love to hear a truth bomb about Zuckerberg from Sam living in California.
Okay, well, you've asked.
What truth bomb does Sam know that I wouldn't know about?
Yeah, if you can give us a really good truth bomb, I'll give you 2 points.
Well, during the medical intervention period, I had my personal Facebook account deleted for questioning public health policy. But now we should trust Zuckerberg because he's a tech bro. He put out a video of surfing, drinking a beer, and so he's reformed. And he did indeed build Facebook in his garage over there at Harvard in his dorm room. It wasn't LifeLog, part of that same program that went offline, and Facebook came on the same day. That has nothing to do with
total separate programs. I mean, one's over there, the other one's over here.
And by the way, I think MySpace was way better than Facebook.
Yes, I agree. I really enjoyed MySpace. I miss it. Rupert Murdoch bought it and destroyed it on purpose because it contained lots of secrets. I actually think that they used MySpace to traffic and spread communications to each other in intelligence. And I think that includes people like Epstein and Maxwell's crew. I think they were using MySpace right at the start, and there's a little bit of evidence I've seen to that as well. And it'd be interesting if someone follows that down. But okay, excellent.
Side note, real quick. Did you see the story that came out that the CIA, other intelligence, were using a Star Wars message board, Star Wars fan message board, to be sending secret communications through?
I always think the message will be the same. It'll end up being, do it. That's it. Okay. Or it'll be, hello there. One of the two. You never know which one. Right. Okay. You get to 2 points there. Matt gets 1 point for coming in with Truth Bomb, but I'll give 2 points to Sam because Matt's handed it over. That's nice. You're a nice boy. Okay. Fingers on triggers. 2 left to go.
Truth Bomb.
Yes. Go on, Sam.
Bill Gates.
Yes, Bill Gates. He really does look like a Dr. Evil. I asked for the little finger to be up next to the side of the mouth, and this is what AI did.
It's close. At least he has all his fingers. I don't see a thumb. Yeah. Okay, the truth bomb about Bill Gates is he was my doctor during the medical intervention period, and then I was taking all my healthcare and medical advice from him, and then he cheated on his wife and had affairs with employees, sexual harassment, and she divorced him, and that was morally corrupt for me, and so I had to go find another doctor after that. And my next doctor was Dr. Rachel Levine, and those were the doctors I was following for healthcare advice during the whole medical intervention period. So sadly, Bill Gates corrupted my view of public health with his philandering.
Okay. I'm gonna award you 1 point for getting it right, 1 point for the truth bomb or the bonus point, whatever, and 1 laughter point as well for sure. That is that's the best thing I've heard all year, to be honest. Okay, so the next one, last one. Here we go. Fingers on triggers. Fingers on triggers. Get ready to say truth bomb. Maybe Maz, say it straight away.
Truth bomb.
Truth bomb.
Sam, go on.
That's Klaus Schwab.
That's my boy. Schwabi. He's I know everything about Schwab. I know the size of his underwear. I do. He wears only G-strings, but don't tell anybody. Go on. Have you got any truth bombs about Klaus Schwab?
I think the truth bomb I learned from you there, Johnny, is that he was a disciple of old Kissinger, trained him up in his special, spy school, I guess is what you would call it, is his International Man of Evil Bond Villain Spy School. They're a protege of Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, it took me a year of contemplating before I found the right place to look with Schwab. And when I found out that not only that he had been at international seminar, but that had been outed in the same year he graduated as being a CIA-funded program, that was just amazing. And then to find out that the 2 of the people who were the main mentors from that, John Kenneth Galbraith, who we mentioned earlier, and Herman Kahn, went back with him and set up the World Economic Forum. That's just sexy. That's a sexy piece of information.
Johnny, let's not forget this month is also the Bilderberg Group meeting, which they denied for, 20, 30, 40, however long it's been around, like since...
Now it's just matter of fact.
Yeah, they said you're crazy, it doesn't exist, don't be a conspiracy theorist. Powerful people never have meetings and decide what the agenda is going to be to stay in power, right? But now they have a website. Now they have a public website. They brag about it. They give you the members list. Of course, we don't know what really goes on behind the scene, but they're all public now. It's 100%. They do indeed have this giant one world government meeting called the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, you get a point for getting it right, and you get a point for fucking up as well.
1 week. In 1 week time, it will. Yeah.
Go on.
In 1 week's time, it's going to be in Stockholm at the Grand Hotel.
Ooh, there you go. So a point there for a little.
Bilderberg is coming to my hometown.
Oh, really? Are you going to go protest them?
Oh yeah, we are. We're
You
going
are
to try and
really.
get some
Be careful, man.
interviews done.
Be careful, man. They'll just freaking, disappear you. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's getting crazy. They're getting bold, they'll say you're a
Yep.
domestic terrorist and you're gone.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that the hotel they're staying at which is owned by the Wallenberg family, by the way, the Grand Hotel in Stockholm, owned by the Wallenberg family. They're still denying. They haven't yet said that it's actually the Bilderbergs that are coming. So I mean, they still try to be secretive, but it's obviously failing miserably.
Yep. And but still, they have got to a point where they're basically open about it now, and that's a new era for sure. It's just a sign that they're coming out and they're showing us they're in charge. At the quick fire picture round there, Matt scored 3, 2 truth bombs, and 1 bonus point for a total of 6. But Sam trounced it. He scored 5.6 truth bombs, 1 laughter point, totaling 12. After 4 rounds, Matt has 60 and Sam has 60. It's all tied up. Nice.
What?
We
Really?
like that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, you have a complicated scoring system.
No, I gotta say, the first 2 episodes, you don't want to trust anybody. I had to put in points where I was just like literally videos saying, don't look at the scores, don't think about the scores, don't count the scores, whatever you do. Everything is fine. In the last picture round, our contestants will see a selection of famous AI-generated people. All you have to do is guess which age they all died. Each picture will include a group of people who died at the same age, or at least that's what AI says. Our contestants will take it in turns to guess the identities of those in the pictures and what age they were when they left the mortal coil. We'll start with Matt during this round and we'll alternate. This is called the 69 Club. Matt, this might be a little bit harder for you, but I don't know. And to be perfectly honest, some of these AI-generated pictures are hard anyway. You don't get a point for each person. You only get you can have 2 points.
I got
if you guess all 3.
Belushi.
Oh, you did. You're the only person. I tested this out,
John,
and you're the only person who got Belushi. Go on.
Belushi, John Candy.
And
oh no, nah, I
that's unfortunately you couldn't get all 3. But the point of this, what you have to guess first, is what age did these 3 men die?
They passed away at the ripe old age of 48.
Okay, you say 48. Over to Sam. Sam, don't. Hey. You shouldn't show him when you're doing it. You shouldn't show him when you. How old do you think they were? The closest gets it.
Same age as Jesus, 33.
Oh, look at it. Okay, so Sam's got closest. He's actually got spot on, which means he gets 2 points straight away there for guessing their age. If you can only have an extra point if you guess all 3, Sam. So you get the option now because you guessed the age right. But I doubt you're going to get all 3. But give it a go.
Yeah, I only got 2: Chris Farley, John Belushi, and the other guy I don't know.
Yeah, the other guy is AI David Koresh. I'm sorry about the laugh.
Well, you had two comedians. The other guy's a cult leader.
Come on, that's funny. That's possibly even funny.
I had no idea. John Belushi was only 33 when he died.
Well, that's what AI said, but that's about right. Yeah, he was only 33.
I had no idea.
Yeah, well, he partied hard. That boy knew how to do it. That's for sure. Okay.
Good to know.
The next one, it goes to Sam to have the first guess on the age. You only really, if the person who wins it gets to guess first for all three people. I doubt either of you are going to get this one. All of the people in this one, but you can guess how old they were when they died. So, Sam, do you recognize any of those? You don't have to say who it is. Don't want to give it away.
I got one.
I can tell you the middle one is one of the most infamous English football managers in history.
Oh, maybe I don't know then. I was going to say, should I say the name I think it is?
You thought it was going to be John Wayne.
No, I thought it was Evel Knievel.
Oh, that's right. Which one? The one in the middle or the one on the side?
Either one, the one with the helmet or the other guy with the racing jacket.
Ah, yeah, the racing jacket. Well, AI likes to swap over and put people in things that the other person wears. It's very strange how it does it. I'll tell you something. So, okay, you have to guess, though. How old were these three when they died?
Oh, shoot, I want to say 41.
Ooh, 41. Do you think any of those look over 41 in that picture? Okay, Mats, can you get closer than 41?
Yeah.
Yeah. 60, did you say? Sorry, but it cut out
69.
Then. Hey!
Okay,
You've
sorry,
done it!
60,
You're the
69.
first person. This is the third time I played the 69 game, and every single time, the other two times, no one's actually got that one of them's going to be 69. But yes, it is indeed. It's 69. Can you guess any of the people in there?
Could it be Faye Dunaway on the woman?
Yes, very well done. Faye Dunaway is the woman. Do you know either the other
two? No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I won't give you any more points. I'm not
even going to venture a guess because I have no idea. Sorry.
You get 2 points for getting it exactly right, 69. It is actually Evel Knievel in the helmet there, supposedly, but doesn't look very much like him. Faye Dunaway, you were very correct with that. No one's got that who I tested this on. And the middle one is a man called Brian Clough, who was the manager of Derby County and Nottingham Forest Football Club in the 80s and 90s. One of the most infamous, hilariously funny people. They made a few movies out of him. Anyway, okay, on to the next one. This is it. Here we go, and this is back across to Matt to choose first. Here we go. How old were these guys when they died? A right bunch. If you were walking down the alleyway and you come across these three, I swear to God, you would question your existence. Matt, can you question your existence here?
Questioning I'm questioning where my knowledge is, but I guess it's gone away with all the beers I had at the rock festival right now.
What?
It's at least it's James Dean, and then it's JF, the alleged killer of JFK. The name will arrive shortly, and unfortunately, the handsome fellow on the left for me, it's
that's me.
I could say Idi Amin.
You want to get back to the picture? Idi Amin.
Okay, on the furthest left.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Okay, well, how old were they when they died? You have to make a guess.
Ooh. I went to Russia.
Yeah, I will say to the people at home, Mads has been at a music festival, and we've actually recorded this over 3 separate times over the same day. And he's been out partying.
I'm gonna say
go on, say it.
29.
29. Okay, and I'm gonna go across. What you gonna say, Sam?
Okay, this is James Dean,
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald,
Oh, you know the answer. I can feel it. Go on, and you know this
and
one
Big
as well.
E.
Biggie. Biggie. Can't you see? Sometimes Lee Harvey Oswald hanging out with James Dean.
Alleged Diddy boyfriend there. But actually,
Oh, yeah.
funny side
Which
note.
one? No, joking. Go on.
Funny side note about James Dean. I drive by his memorial every time I go over to the Central Coast of California, where he allegedly drove his Porsche off a cliff and died at the age of 24.
That is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Mind you, the Porsche might have been a little bit broken. How old then? Come on, you have to say how old.
24.
Yes! 2 points for getting 24. You get an extra point for guessing all of the characters there as well. So you get 3 points there. And I know that was quite a difficult one to know all three, but they're so weird looking, aren't they? AI makes these people so weird. Okay, this one now goes back across to Sam. So Sam, you're first. I think you might be able to get close to this one. Maybe you'll be able to get close to this one. You want to go with the age first before maybe trying to guess all of the characters?
I don't know. David Icke says Chris Christopherson's a lizard person. That's the only one. That's the only one of the lizard people that he called out as being lizard people that I was like, that's odd. You got all these elitist, oligarch, monarchs, all these people. I could be like,
come in, Robert Gecko.
I could see how they could be lizard people, but then you throw in Chris Christopherson. I'm like, wait a minute, that what? Who's it? It's Charlie Chaplin, Chris Christopherson, and I don't know the guy in the middle.
You got a brand new car.
I know Chris Christopherson lived to be pretty old. He just died here recently. I want to say 68.
Ooh, 69,
excuse me.
You're gonna go 69 again. That's sexy. You just got 69 on the mind. Okay. Mats, what are you gonna go with?
I'll go with 76.
Oh, Mats takes it here. He takes it here. He gets 1 point, just 1 point for being closer. 88 is the age that they made it to really old. And do you know, Matt? You get first chance. Go on. Who do you think this is?
The fellow in the middle. Could it be Truman?
Oh yes, it is. It is.
President
Truman.
Truman. Two? Charlie Chaplin, Chris Christopherson.
Yeah. Okay, and you get an extra point, so that's 2 points in total for that one there. 1 point for guessing the names correctly, and 1 point for getting close. Okay. This one is for you, Matt. This one's for you to go first. Here we go. Now, those dogs, they look a little angry.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Well, could be Kelly and Epstein, of course, and then Kelly. The fellow in.
You go with Dr. David Kelly, yeah? Yeah, but how old? Yeah. How old? You don't want to give it all away.
How old? I'll say 61.
Oh, 61. Go on, Sam. You gonna give a guess of how old? What club are they in?
66.
Yeah, he knows the 66 club. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein was 66 years old. But can you, Sam, now you've guessed that correctly guess each of them. So you get 2 points for the 66. Can you guess which each of them are?
I got 2 of the 3. Of course, Epstein, Tom Petty, and...
good getting Tom Petty.
The other guy, I don't know.
Well, I find it funny you said Dr. David Kelly, because he does look a little like Dr. David Kelly, man. You won't get a point for this, Sam. You were right with Tom Petty. No one I tested this out on got Tom Petty at all. And after they heard Tom Petty, they went, oh, of course. The last guy, I would have accepted quoted Harold Shipman, even though it's not Harold Shipman, because he looks so much like Harold Shipman. But in actual fact, it's Terry Pratchett of the Discworld novels, who I know that's a hard one to get, but well, say Luffy, I write this quiz show. Yeah. Right, next one. This is for you now, this time, Sam. Here we go. These guys, look at these guys with their puppies. How do you like those puppies?
Shoot, the guy in the middle is Sidney Poitier. I don't know.
Oh, what an amazing guy, though. I mean, I get love bubbles when I think of Sidney Poitier. I completely and utterly I was so into every single one of his movies. To Serve with Love is one of my favorite movies of all time. Look Who's Coming to Dinner. Oh, what a great movie. Go on. I
don't know those two. I'm going to say 69 again.
You're going to say 69? You are trying. Go on, Maz. You give a guess of how old you think they are? Or were?
Oh, how old? I'm gonna say 91.
Oh, well, you get 1 point. You get 1 point, Maz. That's 99. They were 99 years old when they died. Can you guess who that is there, Matt?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing Sasha Gabor.
Zsa Zsa Gabor, indeed, yes.
Yeah, and that's why I went up to the 90s, because I have some memory of her dying at a very ripe old age. And then it's probably the old prince.
What his name is?
Yeah, exactly, Prince, the lizard prince.
He wants to come back as a virus.
What was the old
society?
Yes, he does. He wants to come back as a virus.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to come back as a virus. So it was Prince.
Say
mind.
The middle guy. Say who
I'm
we've
just
already
going to leave the fellow in the.
Go on.
What did you say? Sorry, Poitier?
Yeah, Poitier. You can
I didn't. Yeah, Poitier. Yeah.
So I will give you 1 point, Maz, for saying the Lizard Prince. That's enough for us to understand who he is. But it is Zsa Zsa Gabor, Sidney Poitier, and the Lizard Prince. And they were 99 when they died, so you get a point. I mean, however much we moan about scoring, the poor person, Jabwhack, who's behind the scene, who has to score this match, it is insane. And then 69 club, Matt's scored 4 and 2 bonus points, totaling 6. Sam scored 6, 1 bonus point, totaling 7. After 5 rounds, Matt's has 66 and Sam has 67. Sam, you've been doing well so far. You've got still got some of your own hair and teeth. That's good. When we get to the gulag, will you make me hold your pocket or will you hold my pocket? It's important to sort this out before showtime.
I guess I'll have to hold your pocket.
Oh, I will hold your pocket too. We can hold pockets together. Mats, do you think Swedish prisons have a higher rate of gay relationships than in regular prisons? I like the pause.
I very much doubt it.
Oh, do you? You think they're what? You think they're straighter?
No. Yeah.
Don't be hateful this Pride Month, Matt.
True. Pride Month.
Yeah,
listen,
I'm not being hateful.
Is it true that, Maz, that if you go to Papua New Guinea, people will rub your ginger beard for good luck? Or is that how they marinate the people before they cook them?
No, it is, however, true that while I was living in Singapore, they wanted to pet my head when I was a child and I was growing up in Singapore. They wanted to come up and touch my hair because supposedly it was supposed to bring them good luck. Now the Chinese are very superstitious people, so yeah. So I had the Chinese try and stroke my hair when I was a child, but I went to Papua New Guinea later when I lived in Indonesia, and no one cared about the beard, mainly because I didn't have it back then.
But if you had, they would have been just hanging off the side, trying to eat you as they went. Anyway, let's not be racist towards those poor Papua New Guineans. So, there you go. We've almost come to the end of the show. Everything could change in the quick fire round with the final truth bomb. So, you have 90 seconds, Mads, to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know the answers, then just say pass. The round is over when you hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinet.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Who was the Congolese leader assassinated in 1961 with CIA involvement? Can't just pass.
Pass.
You don't know. What H
Pass.
word in global politics refers to leadership or dominance by one country over another?
Hegemon.
Correct. Which economist sharing a first name with JFK served as ambassador to India during Kennedy's presidency?
Pass.
John Kenneth Galbraith. What CIA operation attempted to kill Fidel Castro multiple times?
Pass.
Can pass. Which executive action? Which former U.S. Secretary of State wrote Prague Winter and Fascism a Warning? You can pass. It is quickfire.
Kissinger.
No. Madeleine Albright. What country saw a 2022 ceasefire between FARC? No. What country saw a 2022 ceasefire between FARC members, the National Liberation Army, and its government?
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Colombia is correct. You got it just at the end. Colombia is correct. Okay, you didn't actually do that bad on the quickfire round. Well done. Sam, you have 90 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know the answer, then just say pass. The round is over when you hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Are you ready to rumble?
Ready.
Who was the Archduke assassinated in 1914, sparking World War One?
Archduke Ferdinand.
Yep, indeed. What gangster was a key figure in the Genovese crime family?
Pass.
Vito Genovese. Which U.S. president issued the executive order in 2017 restricting immigration from 7 countries?
Donald Trump.
Correct. What term describes economic and political domination of peripheral states by core developed nations?
Hegemony.
Dependency theory. Which serial killer was called the Killer Butcher in 1970s France?
Pass.
What scandal involved VW falsifying emissions tests in 2015?
Pass.
That was Dieselgate. What year did the United Nations General Assembly adopt the Universal Declaration of Human Rights?
Pass.
1948. Which U.S. president's real campaign footage appeared in Clint Eastwood movie In the Line of Fire?
Kennedy.
Correct. Who was the Burkinabe leader assassinated in 1987?
Pass.
Thomas Sankara. What year did Mikhail Gorbachev...
So we penetrate the cabinets.
I'll start it so I finish. What year did Mikhail Gorbachev resign as Soviet president, marking the end of the USSR?
Shoot, I want to say 92?
Oh, 91.
91.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You got 3, so you got one more. There you go. Gentlemen, we have come to the end of the game, and almost to the end. Don't get me wrong. We've done the quick fire rounds. We've done all of the rounds, and the scores are quite clearly 68 for Maz and 70 for Sam. Now, as everybody who watches this program knows, we have one final truth bomb. The very last round is that you can decide on whatever truth bomb you think is most important, and it's worth 3 points. So this is a game changer. If Maz gets the 3 points, he wins the round 71-70. But if Sam gets it, it's 73-68. The one who's in the rear goes first and tries the other way around. It will be Sam who goes first. Sam, final truth bomb. Something that you think that people need to know and that is really important.
That here in California, I just learned this through my own research, because the big news out here in alternative media land is the revelation of scientific dictatorship, technocracy, the Technate. And I just learned here in California, the world's 4th largest economy, that Palantir Software Foundry is running our energy grid at Southern California Edison, which provides power to Southern California, and PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, that runs the power grid in Central and Northern California. And I think that's a very significant. I've never heard anybody else talk about it, and it's right there on Palantir website for the whole world to go see. They actually brag about it. And knowing what we know, it's essentially the CIA, i.e. intelligence agency, running the 4th largest economy in the world's energy grid. And I think that's significant, and people should start asking questions about what the hell is going on as they roll blackouts, do rolling blackouts, ration power, and say it's all in the name of fighting climate change. People should be asking what the hell is really going on when our energy rates at PG&E have increased 60% in the last 5 years. So how can this, all in the name of efficiency, using Palantir Foundry operating system to run the energy grid, how is this efficient system costing a 60% rate increase over the last 5 years? It's really not sorting out. The rhetoric's not matching with actual dollars and cents over here. And I think a lot of people in a lot higher positions than me should be asking these questions of the power companies and Palantir. What the hell is going on here with the massive rate increases? If you guys are doing all this and we're supposed to love it and sign off in the name of efficiency, all I see is waste, fraud, and abuse coming out of the public utility companies here in California.
What a brilliant truth bomb. That's a good one. Okay. Over to Maz, who's oh no, he's not just drunk the suicide potion. Listen, don't do it. I said the S word. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut that out. Blah, 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 blah. Hey Maz, come on. It's your final truth bomb. You're 2 points behind. I know that Jabwak behind the scenes, he said, can Mats and Sam share out the final 3 points? But even if you did share it, one person would have to win. Someone would have to be on 70 and someone would have to be on 71. So, come on, give us the final truth bomb. Blow our brains away.
I'm going to go with the truth bomb that I discovered myself while I was doing my legal history studies, and which I later started to unmask together with the help of some splendid Scottish historians. And the truth bomb is that the whole history of the First World War is a deliberate lie. I mean, it's not a lie. I mean, the sacrifice, the heroism, and the waste of lives is definitely happened. However, the truth behind how it all began and how it was very unnecessarily prolonged beyond 1915 have been very successfully covered up for over a century. So by going through old newspapers and looking at what happened, you can see that the establishment at the time used the media to repackage the history of how the First World War began. And the factual evidence clearly demonstrates that the British Rhodes secret elites were highly responsible for the tragedy that unfolded between 1914 and 1918. Now, if we had to go through all the steps to explain this, we would be here for many, many hours. But I just urge everyone who's listening to look up this truth bomb. Basically, the hidden history behind the First World War, and you'll find out a lot of very frightening facts and a lot of parallels to what's happening today in Ukraine and who is pushing the war forward. So that's the truth bomb.
That's brilliant. Gentlemen. I'm going to take a little look across to see what Just a Bloke Who Asks Questions says. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, so he says, boy, it's a tough call. This is how he speaks. Boy, it's a tough call. Perhaps Matt's on a globalist nature. That's how he speaks. And I'm leaning the other way. Because even though I like that last truth bomb, as I think it's very true. But what you said there is poignant and important and should be remembered. I think there's a lot that was happening in World War II. I've done a lot of research into the Manchurian plague outbreak that happened in 1910, 1911. And I think that they were coming up to the point where they were understanding virus technology and they were learning how to give people viruses and watch the spread and take notes. And just after that, we had diseases appear that had never been there before, like the sleeping disease that was made famous from, I think, was it Awakenings with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams? And of course the Spanish flu and etc. And I think those really came out from tests that were happening at the time and using war and the dirty conditions within the trenches to propagate illness as well was something. So it is an extremely, extremely important truth bomb. So I see though. Okay, I agree with you. I agree with Just a Bloke Who Asks Questions and said the right thing there, because Sam, your truth bomb was so important because Palantir are so massively important to our future and what's going on and the technocracy. And that is a massively important. I think we talked about this off camera as well, the importance of power grids and these people being in control of the power is so vital for their technocracy to work. If we take control of the power grid, their technocracy can be stopped and can be halted, or at least can be slowed. So that's really important. But Just a Bloke Who Asks Questions has said 3 points each because they're such fantastic truth bombs. And I've not done this in the 11 episodes we've had so far. So I'm going to say Sam is on 73, Maz is on 71. So Sam still wins. Well done, sir.
America, America.
America. Yeah, and of course the Swedish says, "Okay, I'll appease you for now, but I'll betray you in the end." Maz, how did you enjoy Truth Bomb? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed Truth Bomb. I'm just feeling a bit sad that little bit sad that we lost our colony in New York back in the early 17th century. It would have been so much better if we would have kept it and made things put to order over there.
And maybe everybody in Sweden would have talked like a New York. Yeah, I'm from Sweden. Did you know? Anyway, okay. Where can people find you, Maz? Where can people find you?
Maz, real quick, I got a question for you. Is everybody white where you live? Everybody where I live is Mexicans, man. I'm seriously going to. When I went to grade school, I was the only white boy. And talking about reverse discrimination, they all made fun of the gringo, and so I just wonder what it's like to live around all white people, because I lived around all Mexicans my whole life here in Central California.
How many black people were in your class in school, Maz? Well, I had a bit of I wasn't a typical Swede, I went to school in Southeast Asia, so I would say I had a very diverse.
So there were no black, you're saying?
Yeah, I was.
Absolutely no chance of a black person if you went to South Asia. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. So, can you tell people where they can find you?
Normally, I tend to stick to my X channel. So that's just just put the @ sign in front of my name, and you find me on X. That's where I normally tend to stay.
Awesome. Well, I thank you for coming on. Sam, can you tell people where they can find you and how they can support your work?
All things, just search Weaponized News. Weaponized News, that's the logo. We're on every major platform and most of the small ones as well. Weaponized News, back from our banning off the internet, essentially, and trying to rebuild those accounts back up after the medical intervention period caused us to be banned off the internet, essentially. So Weaponized News, Weaponized News, Weaponized News.
Excellent. Brilliant. Thank you for being on Truth Bomb, gentlemen, and that's us out. Bye, people.
Thank you, Johnny.
Hello. Thank you for watching that show. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate having your time and your attention just for a little bit. To make content like this, I need your help. I am constantly working hard to produce live shows, podcasts, truth bombs, and long-form investigative articles which expose a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. Continue doing that. I need your support. You can either support me via Patreon by becoming a patron, where you'll get shows like Truth Bomb early. You could support me by dropping me something on Buy Me a Coffee or on Ko-Fi. I really do appreciate your support. Go to newspaste.com for more, and thank you again.
Young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.